Collider Live, Roxy Stryer lost on the highway. True story.
For reals.
So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Collider Live. Fun show here today. We got the huge coming in from his hour-long drive. Cody Hall, new dad. How you doing, Cody Hall?
I'm doing great, guys.
Good. I liked your route.
Yeah.
You told us your route.
Hot route. Different streets.
It's good. It's very Vin Diesel of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you did there.
I treat my drive like a quarterback, calling audibles.
Yeah.
Hot route, left up floor.
Yeah, it's good. You can take the open spot.
Correct.
Josh McCouga's here. Mark Riley's here.
Hi.
I was just singing some stupid song. I think I carried my mood over from yesterday. It's no song you've ever heard.
Oh.
It's not like Journey or something. It was
Right.
dee dee deedly dee doo doo deedly doo. That I turned into Ned Flanders for like the last 15 minutes of my drive, and it was the most enjoying 15 minutes of my life. I don't know where it came from, but I was.
You do like humming terrible songs.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from you.
It just adds something to life for some reason. When I was driving through, because someone parked in my spot and it was done on purpose, but I didn't care because I was singing that song. I said, "Oh, wait a minute!
Look at this.
Oh, you got demoted though because you took the fucking
You're in the
5 for some
McCouga
reason."
chair.
I always take the 5. Guys,
Wait,
this is
why?
10 years.
Dee, dee,
10
dee, dee,
years.
dee.
First time I've ever been late to a live show.
Yeah.
Right now.
10 years.
10:01. That's how long I've been at it.
Hey, I'll hand
you
it
mean-
to
you
Roxy.
mean every live show you've ever
I'll
done.
hand it to
In
Roxy.
10 years.
I have it in text. So she said 10:01.
Yeah.
Holy
And
shit,
here it is.
guys.
Wait, so you got why?
10:01.
This route.
Oh my God.
Wait,
I'm dripping. I can't breathe.
Do you want this chair?
No.
No, but
I don't deserve that chair today.
But listen,
I'm still late,
listen,
regardless.
this has to stop. You've got to stop going through Griffin Park to get to the 5. You got to stop.
It takes me. I always give myself an hour and 20 minutes.
Why?
That is so
That's so dumb.
fucking
Because
Come on,
I
Roxy.
don't understand how to get here.
But
And I follow my ways, and today I got stuck.
your Waze is broken.
Car and park. You know when you're on the freeway, car and
Stop
park.
using Waze.
And it's like, okay, well,
No.
my car's in fucking
You
park.
live close to me.
Headphones.
You
We're
live
gonna-
close
we're
to
gonna-
me.
I know.
We're gonna draw you a map.
Stop
This
going
is
that
it.
way. It's
This is it.
seriously.
Guys, I am so sorry.
But wait, how long
I
does
am
it normally?
so
stop.
sorry.
How long does it
At least
take
I arrived in style.
You have to answer these questions.
What? What's
'cause
the
you're late.
question?
How long does it normally take you on a normal day to get here?
An hour.
That's okay. You should.
An hour.
It should.
I give myself an hour and 20 minutes because sometimes it takes an hour and 10.
It should take you 45 minutes every day.
Well,
'Cause
it doesn't.
There's no well. You're going the wrong way.
Okay, well, I'm going the wrong way.
Well, can you stop that?
What's that?
It's a heroes villains jacket.
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah.
So you won't stop.
That one's cool.
I know. Unless one of you guys literally comes to my house and shows me, I don't know how else to do it.
Okay, field trip, everyone.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
I actually think we should
a bit.
record this.
It's a
yes,
bit.
yes,
I think
yes.
that
Oh
we
my
should
God, guys,
show
I
up.
can't breathe.
I think we
Yeah.
need to show up to the house
Yeah.
in the morning. All of us go. We carpool it, and so much so that I might even put you in the booster seat at this point.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'm very short.
And actually, I took the booster seat out, so we're fine in my car. Maybe we just do this and we record the bit. We use your phone that you have the thing, and we show you how to do it because this is insane.
Hi, Cody. Hi, Alex. Is
Roxy.
there a worse feeling in the world than knowing you're going to be late to something? Like,
No.
I don't know if there's
Yeah.
a fucking worse feeling.
I
That's
got-
not true.
I
I've been
got-
through a
I
couple,
shits.
but
I've sat.
that's okay with me.
I got
I'd rather
flicked
shit
in
myself.
the.
Really?
I opened a door
What about
yesterday.
being late and shitting yourself?
Yeah, that's bad.
You mean showing up with shit? No, I mean,
Yeah, that'd be
I
the
guess.
worst,
Yes.
Late with the shit. Yeah.
I feel
a new
so bad. I feel so fucking bad. And you
Why?
want to know what? Because it's brutal. Are
It's a
you
year
kidding?
plus on this show.
Yeah, but that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
But so let's
mean,
go. Let's do a little
all
therapy.
the
Let's
shows
do a
You
little
didn't come
therapy.
in with a body. You were like, "We gotta hide it. We gotta hide it."
No, but
You
let's
don't know what's in my trunk.
But let's go through
My
this.
trunk can't
Let's go
fit
through this for a
anything.
second,
Small.
Rox. Let's go through this for a
tried.
second because you said you feel bad, right?
I do. I feel really bad.
Okay, so we're trying to give you a solution to not feel bad anymore.
Well,
Cut
I've
out
never,
15 to
what do you
20
mean
minutes.
anymore? I've never been
Probably.
late for
I
a
know,
show.
but because you're,
the first time
I'm
I
also
felt
trying to
bad.
help you out here.
So we
because
have a solution.
You don't have
That's
to
what
leave
we're
an
saying.
hour and 20 minutes. We can literally save you 40 minutes.
You can shave
Well, then you guys
15
need to come
20
over. I
minutes
told
off.
you.
Okay.
15 to 20
We'll
minutes.
take your
shave
trash
that
cans
off.
in too.
And then yeah, it's mind
I could use
boggling.
your help with that.
Can you? I'm just gonna. Can you write your exact address
Yes.
into my phone?
Oh yeah, yeah. I see what you're doing.
4792.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Got scared.
Kidding. It's none of those things.
Riley just yes.
Yeah.
Not really.
So
but
listen,
Give me a locked phone.
yesterday I think was
I love you guys. I'm so sorry.
yes. I think
We don't care.
Forget it.
Yesterday with Bachelor in Paradise.
Yes, I did watch that. We'll talk about it soon. Yesterday was an absolute crazy show. And I loved every second
I
of
loved
it.
every
I don't think you can
second, too.
replicate it. It just has to happen.
I think Cody's happy about the no replication of the show.
Why?
I had a great time.
I think, yeah, a good time. They had a good time. I think it was a party, and
Cody.
It was good. All right, so you're right now. You're doing a test. The only reason, by the way, so this is a test that's allowed because he's doing something for the show.
Right.
Roka yesterday or whenever it was checking the phone for whatever it is, itinerary Frosty, and we were checking on guests. It looks so bad on camera. We're getting a lot of comments for it, so we just got to stop.
Well, Riley's the
just
producer,
did
so he
that
has to
thing
check.
No. But if we have,
did the
but,
thing
but
we all
maybe there's a
do.
thing that if we have to, then we either move to the side or something. It just looks really bad on camera.
You did the thing
do
we
this.
all do.
Yes.
You know
Perfect.
you just did.
Okay, right
it.
now from Roxy's address,
what's
it
that?
says 45 minutes. Okay,
45 minutes.
Yes.
That's what I said.
and there is not one part of this drive that
says five.
mentions the 5.
No,
Not one part of this.
Every day I take the 5.
I don't know
And that
why
is
you
wrong.
do that. Why do
Except
you do
for
that?
some days when I take a
you literally
134
okay.
or something.
Imagine you lived in a house, okay, and the
I
kitchen.
do live in a house.
The kitchen was a straight line. So the quickest way to get to the kitchen was that straight line, but instead you went to the living room.
I
She
understand.
walked
but
around
what
the
if,
house.
You walked
what
around
if,
the house, upstairs, up to the attic, jumped from the attic.
Through the
Father falls
chimney.
in the air. What if that straight line was full of
Shit.
lions?
There is not a straight line full of lions, is what I'm telling you. If
I-
anything, it's a
Joshua,
Are you
I have
doing-
tried to take Hauser.
This is not Hauser. This is not
This
Hauser.
is all he keeps telling me. Take
But this-
Hauser.
this isn't the
take
Hauser
Hauser.
route.
Take Hauser.
This is
is not
actually
the
telling me
Hauser.
La Cienega, but Hauser is even quicker.
So I know where La Cienega, you just take
La
all the way.
Cienega is slow.
No.
La Cienega is slow as shit.
Apparently not if it's
In-
telling you 45
well,
minutes.
Right now,
Whatever. It
because
took
you're
me
an
today
hour.
a full hour and 20 minutes, and I am, what is it, sweating like a whore in church?
But why are you fighting
It is
this?
rough.
But you're fighting this when we're trying to help you.
Okay, from your house, it should take about 14
Hi, Cody
minutes
and
to
Alex.
get to my house.
Alex is
okay?
not
about
here.
14.
Hi, Alex.
13, 12,
Just Cody.
12, 13 minutes. And then, depending on
It does
traffic
not
and how
take
good
12,
you
13
are,
minutes.
with a route from
think
my
this is good
house, it
radio
takes
or
about
no?
25 minutes. So that's
going.
38 minutes is
Yeah.
what it should take you to get to work if you were to take my route.
Yeah.
Give or take
not all
5,
about you.
plus or minus 5.
Yeah, she's just fighting you now to fight
I'm
you.
not fighting you. Come the fuck over and somebody
He's gi-
show me.
He's giving you the route.
I don't
giving you the
understand directions that way, Christian.
But by them telling you, make right, go left,
Clearly,
straight.
did you listen to the song?
Yeah, but you can't even hear. Forget it. You know what? I'm done with this. All right, let's talk about some other things. Nobody wants to hear about the driving anymore. So let's switch to something everybody does want to hear about. And that's Bachelor in
Yeah.
Paradise. The finale. Last time we were going to talk about it on the show for a while. Yeah, we'll get to it. And we have and the finale to me was, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did. Okay. Did you guys watch or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Hannah gets engaged.
Who's that?
What?
Hannah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hot Mumu model.
She'd
Yeah,
been
Hannah
engaged.
was Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She got engaged.
She got engaged early in the
Dylon,
episode.
Dylon,
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
and
No,
then-
that was towards the end of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the-
whatever. Dylan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
I'm
the
a-
main thing is
I don't
JPJ
care-
and Tasha are back together.
I
love
don't
that.
care
It's my
about
favorite part.
anything that
Oh, you
happened
didn't.
before the reunion.
You wanted-
That's all I cared
right.
about, the reunion. Because where are you at now? Like, what am I watching where you were at months
Right,
ago
right,
to
right,
know
right.
where you're at now?
Yeah, right.
Stupid. But I do feel like the one that I really want to break down is Katie and Chris.
Yeah, that went on for too long, in my opinion.
But then when they go outside-
she shouldn't have got on TV and done that to him.
I feel 50-50 on this.
Yeah, it's like
was
if you
rough.
really like the guy. So for those people who obviously didn't watch, this couple, they had problems throughout the whole entire time, and then they
get
revisited.
engaged.
They got engaged,
Yeah.
and then she comes out and she's like, "No, we're still together. We're still engaged. I'm not wearing my ring because." And she tells all the problems that's going on with it. He comes out like happy, like, "What's going on?" And then she just blindsides him, and he says to her, "You blindsided me," and then he walks away afterwards, just pissed off. I get it.
I
Yeah.
don't feel that way. So we don't know her side of the story. She says, I don't understand how you possibly could be blindsided. You told me to tell the truth. I went on air and I told the truth. And we've talked about it 5,000 times.
Yeah, I know,
What you're saying, I don't think is that. I think what you're saying is that
A fast-forwarded version of this.
no,
'Cause that's what happened.
keep the. There's some things you should keep at home, right? And you don't need to publicize that. But that's not their relationship. They found each other on national television.
there's ways to-
they
you know-
dated on national television. They're struggling, so they're talking about it on national television.
Yeah, but you know, there's ways to maneuver that if you really want it to work.
I think she's been trying, and she said that. And I think she'd used it as a method to peer pressure him into treating her well.
Right. Well, the biggest thing to me was Blake. again.
Yeah.
That was the
I was
biggest
gonna
thing to
say.
you?
Yeah.
Whatever happened.
Oh,
to him.
I was so over that by that point.
In the beginning, the whole
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that
of
happens, he
course.
banged everybody at Stagecoach.
Caitlin,
Stagecoach,
yeah,
by the way, got the most press
I was
out of
gonna
anything. I
say.
didn't even know what the fuck Stagecoach was
It's
until
the
this.
thing after Coachella.
Yeah, but
it's the country version of Coachella.
well, it's getting
Stupid.
it's got the most press that I've ever. Because who the fuck knew what it was? And
I did, but I mean-
this guy
I
banged
did too.
everybody
Yeah.
at Stagecoach, right?
Good
Do you
for him.
own
It's
cowboy
a
boots?
festival.
yeah,
No.
it's an outdoor music festival
Yeah, I kept
at
thinking it was-
Coachella
They
at the same
changed it to Fuck Fest
campgrounds.
apparently now.
Yeah, and it's all country music.
Right.
Fuck
instead of-
Coach.
Fuck Coach.
Yeah.
So anyway, when we were all talking about this in the beginning, because I'll be honest with you guys, and I'm with you, a lot of you, because what I found really interesting and fun was all the drama and the craziness and all the crazy shit that was going on in the beginning.
The
and
end of the
dates
season
and the romance.
sucked.
Oh, it's just, and the couples are boring.
Boring.
So I'm with you guys if you bailed on it and wanted us to, one of the reasons we didn't talk about it as much, it just got dull.
Yep.
But one of the main things in the beginning was Blake and getting all the shit that he was getting, right? And then we were going back and forth, and Kaylin, who we're not a huge fan of, right? This is the thing that I didn't understand. So when the show first started airing and she had said all these things, and he's like, no, I can prove that we have this relationship. Here are these texts. She's destroying my character. Here are the texts. And he released the text. Probably a douchey move to do to release these sex tests. But people started going after her because he just proved what you were saying was bullshit. And she says last night, she's like, she admitted that she was wrong and she did a lot of things that she had said she shouldn't have said. She said, but you shouldn't release my text. He's like, but you were destroying my character. It was the only thing I could do. And everybody just went after this fucking guy.
That's ridiculous.
Everybody went after him. I think he's a douche.
Yeah, sure.
But he shouldn't have released the text. But I understand, he was getting ripped apart. Now, what he could have done, probably, as we've seen in our space and we've seen in general and even in this show, people scream and yell at one particular person for as long as they do, and then they turn their head and they start screaming at somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And people stop screaming at him after about 3 or 4 episodes because it was over, it was clear. But he was trying to defend himself because the wave was so powerful and he was getting destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned the wave away from her because they did have this. She made it seem like he kind of,
I love you.
Well, yeah, said, hey, listen, this is we're gonna be
I love
together.
you.
Yeah, we're gonna be together, and he kind of smooth talked his way into
She's
bed.
dead in the eyes.
Yeah, she is, and she's
I
with.
don't
but
feel that way.
yeah, and
You
it's
don't
funny.
see women like we see women.
Well, and that's the same thing my wife said
True.
last night. My wife said the same thing last night. She's like, she doesn't bother me as much as she's dangerous. She's very dangerous.
Totally.
And Dean's dating her now, so
Yeah.
Dean's going to be in here. I think,
Dangerous?
with
Yeah.
Jared. We're going to have them in here. So we'll ask. We'll see.
Yeah,
Is your girlfriend
Did
dangerous?
you hear
Yeah.
his pun?
Which one? Who?
Dangerous.
Yeah, I said
No.
dangerous.
Oh, you
It's
said
funny.
I thought you said it was on the show.
Roxy
That's good.
enjoyed it.
I like them. I like them.
It was good.
All right.
Nobody acknowledged
Anyway,
it.
and by the way, so they released all the pictures of the women that are going to be on the show. You're better looking than any single person
Yes!
on there.
Mission accomplished.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, but here's the deal. I literally would chew him up and spit
Peter
him
the
out.
pilot?
Oh my
Wait, is Peter the pilot?
God.
Peter the Pilot is a bachelor.
We knew
yeah,
it.
we knew it.
He's
Yeah.
literally like a little
Yeah,
muff.
I think that's
Yeah.
a bad.
Oh.
I don't know. Who are they going to use?
Well, I
But I
thought-
did watch some episodes. He's loaded. That's why they picked them.
Couldn't use
Yeah.
Mike.
No, you can't use Mike.
Mike's
Can use Mike. I love
I
Mike.
think what they always go for in
Too
The
normal.
Bachelor is like a little more of a sweetheart dude than because Ben Higgins was kind of a sweetheart.
Well,
and
Mike was
Colton's
a sweetheart.
sweetheart.
But Mike, you could tell he was on the show for 7 episodes. They
Yeah.
hardly ever used him.
No.
He was a normal guy, and he's boring.
Okay,
He's
but
boring.
think about Mike last night. Mike is the voice of reason.
He
He'd be like,
kept
"Yo,
getting
dude."
shut down though.
Yeah,
and
he
Jordan,
did, but
he
was,
tried to get involved. Jordan told him to shut his mouth.
Yeah,
like
but
6 times.
Jordan was annoying as
Jordan
shit.
was annoying last
It's like,
He's an
"Shh,
annoying
dude.
you
He's the
shut up.
worst.
He was like, "Can I talk?" I was like, "You've been talking for 45 minutes.
Right.
Shut up."
I was hoping
Jordan.
another fight was going to
I
happen.
like Mike so
Shut
much.
up.
I think that because I knew that not because they told me, but because of rumor mill that it was going to be the pilot
Right,
going in.
right.
If I had known it was going to be Mike during my Bachelor
You would
audition,
have tried a little harder.
it's not that I would have tried. I would have said, "I hope that it's Mike.
Oh.
I want Mike.
Well,
I
you-
love
I
Mike,
think,
you
I
guys."
think you're going to watch the.
it could be
you're
like
going to
Mike.
watch this season. You probably like him a little better. This Peter the Pilot guy.
No.
all right,
It's
listen.
not that I dislike him. It's just not my type. Like,
Okay. Well, we finally finished John Wick. Took us 4 nights to do it. John
3.
Wick 3.
Nice.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, but we finally did it.
Mazel tov.
Are you tired today?
No, not really, because we found a new route to not
Get
the
home.
5. To make sure what we started doing because the kid was waking up too much once we
Yeah.
did the move. Just waking up way too much.
Whiskey?
It was
Lil'
disaster.
Melatonin?
No,
Xanax?
No, just let her cry it out like we were going to do because originally what we were going to do. I don't know if you deserve that, but
Thanks, man.
but what we
Dangerous.
were going to do. What we did do, she cries out, she falls asleep at the old place. Problem was she's sleeping with the 8-year-old. Now, And so when we were, that one wasn't the best.
Fucking
put her in
hate
the
it.
yard.
Fucking hate it.
We
It's
put her
just
in the yard.
worst.
No. So we didn't
Should
want to let her cry
apologize.
out because the 8-year-old would then wake up. And we just said, fuck it. Because the 8-year-old, the little one, sleeps like a Vietnam War vet. You step on a twig in the back and she's up.
Right.
But the other one, like a drunk homeless person now for the rest. And
Good
I'm
comparison.
just to know those are your kids you're talking about.
yes.
Yes.
And so, but
I'm
out.
rubbing off
So
on
we're
you.
like, you know what? Let's just test it out. Kids screaming, Mama! Mama! And we're up, and then it stops. I was like, okay, everybody's out. And then woke up once. That was it.
Nice.
So done. So I feel
Fantastic.
better
Congratulations.
today. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. It feels good.
Yeah.
So good. So
So good.
good. I got collide live. Do.
Did you see the picture, by the way? Did you see the?
I posted on Insta.
Yeah.
What the animated?
Yeah.
Can we
What
bring
you
up
talking
the-
about, Wills?
Yeah.
Bring up the animated picture, please.
forgot
because
to tag it.
we
My
have-
in it or no?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Did you tag other people?
No.
No,
That's
it's
okay.
on it's on my Instagram. I tagged no one.
Yeah.
Why do you guys do that?
I don't know. Just
I
bring up the
forgot.
Collider
I
Live
honestly
official
forgot.
group. It's
My
the header now. So we're going to kind of zoom into it. All right.
Yeah.
So this is Cody. Have you seen this yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Why do I have a buzz
All
cut?
right. Let's start with Roxy because she's
Roxy looks like the aged widow.
yeah, she does.
Well, why do I have short hair?
I don't.
I think it's tied
I
back.
think it's coming to the back, but you have the
Oh.
you have the headphones on.
horse.
You got the horse, and then
I own that outfit.
oh, good. Next,
And I love that horse.
next to her is Dorina, the Queen
Yes.
of Death, with the
That-
Reaper behind
that's
her. Which
her.
Is amazing.
That is Dorina.
I love that Ellis makes a cameo in there.
Yeah.
He's on the show 3 times, but he's
Putting
still
the gum in.
Putting the gum in the iced tea. I mean,
Oh,
now,
that
now-
makes sense.
Now
That's
go
good.
up, please. Yes, and look
Yeah.
at Cody and Alex in the back. That's
Pretty
great.
good.
Cody is Cody. Alex is not Alex.
No, Alex is like because Alex doesn't look.
Alex kind of looks more like Ellis than Ellis looks like Ellis.
That's true. This is my favorite because
Mark-
look at his nails.
Nails on point.
So
It's-
good.
It's so good. And Makuga's scared out of his mind.
Yeah, and with the arm hair.
yeah.
Kuga's is
Yeah.
really good. That looks like you.
Is me.
You kind of
Butthead.
looks like Butthead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go. And then there's Schnepp.
Schnepp.
But the best part is go to my cup. There's the Titanic in there. You see that?
Oh,
Isn't that
nice.
good? I love that.
Nice.
Wow, this
nice,
is
nice.
really cool.
really good.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for tagging me.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
welcome.
It's on Instagram.
I
if
think it
you
was
followed
on
us, you would
Twitter.
have
I think
found
he
it.
posted it and tagged you on
I
Twitter.
bet. So-
but
I
you
have
don't
the
find things
longest
on
hair
Twitter.
ever, though.
I think you should.
At least this is better than. Remember the one that posted the picture? All you guys looked amazing, and I looked like an actual butt.
Demon.
No, I
butt
looked like a
demon?
butt.
I don't remember that
I
one.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Oh, recently.
Yes,
right?
you do.
You told me about it. Yeah.
I didn't tell you about it. I showed you it.
I don't remember.
You really don't?
I don't think so.
You're mad at me today?
Mad at you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at you. I'm frustrated that you're not listening to us.
Yes.
It's not that I'm not listening, Kristian. It's that I know how my brain works. I'm really bad at directions. It's frustrating for me. You think that I like doing what I'm doing?
No. I'm not telling you to memorize.
You think I like this?
I'm not telling you to memorize directions. I'm telling you to whatever you're doing, whatever that dumb phone is telling you to do,
Ignore.
listen to a different dumb phone or listen to a different program.
And I'm asking you guys as my friends to one time go through it with me.
Okay.
You gotta.
Sure.
Because this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah. You
An
actually
hour-
live closer to her than I do.
I understand, but an hour and 15 minutes to get here. I mean, with traffic, I kind of get it.
Sure.
But 45 minutes that's.
I mean, it's taken me that long, like once or twice,
Yeah.
when there was like 45 car pileup on Barham.
yeah. I'm
Right.
coming. You know what?
Everybody looked at me when I walked in, guys, and it was I literally
Yeah.
wanted to cry.
All right, wait a minute. You know what I'm going to do here? This is something I will do next week. I will definitely do this next week. I'm going to pick you up next week. Okay, we'll find out one of the days. I know your schedule's ridiculous, so we'll whether it's a day that you can do it. I'll pick you up and I'll show you. You won't remember a goddamn thing about it, but
I'm gonna
we'll
write it
go.
down.
Yeah, draw it.
All right,
Should
fine.
draw it.
Fine, but
We'll get an actual printed out map and
Yeah.
we'll highlight it.
And every day I'll take it out.
Yes.
Or record it with your phone
And
and,
then
just
laminate
replay it.
that's true.
Hey, so I
yes.
watched the Alec Baldwin roast. Did you guys
How was
watch
that?
it?
That was brutal, right?
Dude,
they really go after him. They talk about his kids.
amazing. His daughter roasted
Get
him.
out of here! They talking when he called her a
Ireland.
little, when he called her a little pig.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, it is awesome.
Is it great?
Like,
I gotta
it is
watch it.
so effing good. De Niro is on it.
And De Niro roast him.
De Niro
Yeah.
Get the fuck
roasted.
out of here!
They
really?
roast De Niro a couple times, and he's over there just going like.
I think that Jeff Snyder did an in-depth breakdown
He
for
goes
the
to
site
all
on
this.
it.
Did he go?
And he
He
grade,
goes all the
yeah,
time.
he did. Because he did it in advance, and he letter graded every single person who
Yeah.
roasted
Oh,
it. It was
man.
a good.
Ken
It was a good
Jeong
breakdown.
has like the most over ridiculous laugh of anybody ever, but it kind of like works for it. And no wonder they put him on the Masked Singer, because if anybody can
Oh, was
fake
he?
excitement
Okay. It was him.
for something,
How is
it's Ken
How is
Jeong.
Jeff Ross again?
Crushed.
He's the best.
But the best roaster of the night, hands down, was his daughter.
Really?
Like the jokes that the daughter told and how she delivered it.
them?
And there was a couple times, and he was like he was getting
Nailed. Yeah, of course.
Good.
Did they talk about how he
Awesome.
beats
That's
up paparazzi?
They went into that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you know how they go around the dais and make fun of everybody, because Caitlyn Jenner was on it too, which was very funny.
How did she do?
She was good. You know, I mean, there's people. Blake Griffin was actually very, very good.
Okay. That's
right. He did
and they
that,
brought
yeah.
each other on because he used to date Kendall or one of the Jenners.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she went up and she said him a couple times, but they went after her, and she said like a couple funny things about trans, and she got up there and she's like, listen, if you're a person of trans and you can't take a joke, I'm showing you that you're able to take a joke. A lot of the jokes
That's what Caitlyn said?
Yeah. A lot of the jokes were very much like comedians are under attack. This is where our only place to be okay. You guys need to calm the F down. And I was like, honestly, if you're
At
tuning
a
in
roast,
for the roast,
I mean, you gotta be. You can't get offended at a. That's the one. I think that's the one place right now in a roast that you can't.
No
What,
way.
what can you say?
Yes.
Because that's the whole point of it.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Some people say some pretty insensitive things at roasts.
That's
like,
true.
That are
True.
that are. I feel like you're allowed to take those shots, but sometimes when somebody goes after somebody's like deepest, darkest
You're right.
family,
You're
something.
Right. I have actually,
Yeah.
I've actually been a critic of that when Amy Schumer did it to Steve-O when Ryan Dunn died.
It's just like,
I
that's
that
not
wasn't
good.
even a good joke.
It wasn't a good joke, but look, here's the flip side to it. She's allowed to do whatever she wants.
Totally.
I just think it was insensitive and not funny.
Right.
So that goes back to our conversation that
totally.
we've had many times on the show before. You're allowed to take your shots.
Yeah.
I just found that joke atrocious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like even during the watch, Amanda, when because her name's Ireland.
Ireland. Yeah,
Baldwin.
Yeah, Ireland Baldwin. There was a couple times Amanda was like on her computer and she was like, it was awesome. Like, it was one of the better roasts I think I mean,
right, I gotta watch
think
it.
the Hasselhoff roast was the closest thing to this that I really, really enjoyed.
All right, I gotta watch it.
Speaking of roasts, are you guys following along with the Carter brothers right now on Twitter?
Who?
Aaron and Nick Carter.
I didn't know they were still a thing.
Oh my God!
What's
Nick
happening?
Carter just served his brother with a restraining order,
Holy
and it
shit.
has taken over my Twitter
I gotta
feed.
get the papers. Get the papers.
And Nick Carter served Aaron Carter, and they're both live tweeting about
Each other?
Yes, and
Why do they hate each other?
Apparently.
Apparently, it's been like I can't believe. You know how Twitter caters to you?
Yeah.
I guess this is what they knew I needed in my life. It's so fucked up, though.
Can you like describe what the tweets are going? Why is the restraining order?
Basically, what happens
You
is
bang his wife?
Aaron Carter
Yeah.
in the morning at maybe 9 in the morning was like,
Okay.
LOL. My bro Nick just served me restraining orders. Haven't seen the homie in years. What's he restraining against? Basically.
Okay.
Aaron.
Who's the more famous
Nick,
one?
Nick was Backstreet Boys.
Right.
Aaron was
The solo.
There's a party in a house and
Right,
whatever.
right.
Okay. You don't remember any of this?
I do. It just
Okay.
turned into one big blob of shit.
Yeah.
Aaron has been in and out of rehab for a long time.
Okay.
Nick has a wife and a baby on the way, or a kid. Maybe both
The
of those
show
things?
that Ellis and Ken and I played in Phoenix at the bar that we played, we did a comedy show there. Like I don't know, it was probably
yeah,
five,
yeah.
six-
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
in February of last year.
remember.
Aaron Carter played the night before.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so then Nick, the one who served Aaron the papers, puts out a statement. My sister Angel and I are very concerned because Aaron has said he's having thoughts about murdering my whole family
Whoa.
and my child and my wife, and I have to protect them.
Dark.
So then
Nice.
Aaron responds and was like, "What the fuck, bro? I haven't thought about you or your kid. I want nothing to do with you. I haven't seen you in
Okay,
years.
you sold me. Bring up these tweets.
Where is this coming from?" Then it comes out that I guess these multiple women have accused Nick of sexual assault. And so Aaron's like, let's get him, team. #MeToo. My brother's like a horrible person.
Good Lord.
And they're going back and forth on Twitter. It's
All right, so
it's
my brother
blowing my
just got a
mind.
restraining order against me, and I was just served. Yeah. Take care. We're done for life. Okay. I haven't seen him in 4 years, and I don't intend. Okay. After
This was the Nick's
Wow.
initial tweet
Yeah,
statement.
I got to tell you, Roxy, you
nailed
you
this.
nailed this. That's exactly.
We don't need to read it.
Everything you just said is exactly what happened. Keep going.
'cause I've been spending
hashtag mental
hours-
health, hashtag gun control, hashtag. Well, okay. Keep
And then
going.
a girl from the band Dream, do you remember the band
Yeah.
Dream? Is the one who was accusing Nick of
Sexual
assault. And so she's now chiming in on this. And the sister is chiming in via them. It's been like a crazy 24-hour saga.
So, okay, wait, go back real quick. So, Aaron Carter, leave me alone for the rest of my life. I'm begging you, please. I haven't seen you guys, and Nick, you bullied me my whole life and tortured me as a child, and everyone knows it. It's public now, and you're scared of the truth. What's that video? Let's
I
play
think
that
it's like
video.
him beating him up or something.
What's this video?
I don't know the video.
Yeah, but let me tell you something real quick. You're gonna turn the music down and respect me. Hey, all right? Spit in my face. All right? Don't spit in my face. All right? You're gonna respect me. Don't spit in my face. You're gonna respect me. Don't spit in my face, Nick. Don't spit in my face. I'm sick of you doing it. Stop it.
This is from like an MTV reality
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, but still, I mean.
You're gonna respect.
All right. So wait. So Nick is the one who.
Nick served Aaron the restraining order.
Okay, so
Aaron's
Nick's
the one who's
with
been in
kids.
and out of
So
rehab. Nick's the one with kids
the
and a wife.
The younger one is the one who was getting bullied.
Aaron's the younger one.
Okay, so that looked like so from that side of things, it looked like Nick has been a douche to him.
Yeah.
Douche canoe, as they say.
And now, like, more women are coming forward about Nick, the one who's married with the kid.
Right.
boy.
This is crazy.
And then people are like, why would he be serving you a restraining order if you haven't seen him in 4 years? That doesn't make sense. And so he's saying, I have seen, like, oh my God, it's
This is nuts.
It's nuts.
I didn't hear about any of this. You're look.
Nuts.
Holy
So
shit.
Aaron Carter had like the one hit, right?
Yeah. People, you got to come get it from the left to the right.
Yeah.
Make noise.
Yeah.
Aaron Carter in the
But
house.
the-
Come
Oh,
get
right.
it.
Yes,
What?
yes,
Come
yes.
get it. Say again.
This is what I try to tell everybody at this point. We don't know what is happening, and we have seen and this is what I hope starts to happen with this culture in general that's been going on. Is let's wait for all
of
the facts, because we don't know what is going to happen. I hope because the one brother says, "Oh, my brother did this and did this," and one goes, "This," and everyone, and one side that likes the other side better goes, "Yeah, that's what he did," and the other one goes, "Yeah, that's what he did."
That's exactly what's happening.
We don't know shit.
And
we
also-
don't know shit, and we've been proven in the past that if
No,
we don't know shit, keep your fucking mouths closed until you do know shit.
I
But
literally
also-
last night was like, I am not, because people were tweeting at me, what do you think about this? And I was like,
Why you?
Don't jump in
that's
that
how
pool.
it started. And I was like, I don't have any thoughts about it yet. I don't know.
And that is someone goading you.
Yeah, I don't
stay
know.
out of it.
I don't know how to feel
Stay
about
out
this.
of it because, like I said, we've all been down that road before to where we go, oh, that happened, and it didn't. So just let's just move on.
Sleeping dogs lie,
Yeah.
if you will.
All right. What else is going on in the world before we get to movie news?
We got some breaking news that they canceled the Area 51 event.
Oh, no way.
No.
They didn't rate it. No, let's
What?
But
Yeah.
but I think, and I got to find it. It just occurred to me that I think some people were arrested for actually doing it.
There were two people that were. Cody, can you bring this? I don't know if it's going to come up. If it does, then great. But if not, don't worry about it. Area 51 raid animated.
Oh my God, I have too many windows open.
I want to see if Area 51 raid animated. And I want to see if it actually pops up.
Alex isn't here again?
No,
What
No,
happened?
he quit the show.
no, he didn't.
I can't find it.
Killed a guy who's on the
It's
lam.
not that first one?
No, I can't find it. It's someone sent it to me, but it's some guy made it.
What about that one?
Is that it?
The blue one?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. No, not that one. Not that one. The one right above it. Yeah, that one. I think that's it. Let me see. Let me double check.
It's 6 minutes?
Let me see. Oh, we won't watch the whole thing, but I just the beginning of it. I think so. This guy made.
Has over 2 million views.
Yeah. This could be it. Fast forward a little bit when they. I can't remember who sent this to me. That's it.
This is
turn it up. Turn
animated?
it up. So
Oh, wow.
turn it up. So Riley, look. This is people rating. This is what would happen if people were rating this game mowed down. Yeah.
You guys are psychos.
What?
This you think is funny?
I don't think this is funny.
This is
This is
animated.
not funny at all.
It's
This is
a
not
video
funny. But
game.
this is the whole. This is. Yeah, you can turn it off. But this is not funny at all. It's just the fact
is
that
what
like
would happen.
if they if the military was trying, there's people coming in like just without weapons or anything too
Yes.
to raid a fucking base or whatever they do. This is not smart.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, it's just. And,
Did
and-
you guys know anybody who was planning on going?
Yeah. What?
No.
What?
I don't think I'd like to associate with idiots that would do that. And if I did, it's off.
But what about jumping into
Friendship-wise.
cactuses? There is somebody who jumped into barbed wire. Did you see that?
I did not
Do
see
we
that.
have that?
Did you
You
have
being serious?
Yes. Yeah, there he is.
I don't want to look.
Oh, no.
It's pretty great. Let's try this. Have you seen this, Riley? You've seen it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my God.
Watch him.
This is Superhuman TV Show. Today I'm going to do a full flip onto a barbed wire liar. Just for gigolos and gigolettes. Don't try this at home, and I hope you like it.
What do you say?
Whoop!
Gigolos and gigolettes. So
Oh.
this guy,
Fuck this shit! Oh my God! Damn it! Oh!
My favorite comment was somebody in the Clyde Live Facebook
Gigolo?
said, "Out of all,
Insane Clown Posse.
but this guy said in the Facebook group, he said, out of all the sperm that were there, this is the guy that made it."
Yeah.
It was really
Brilliant.
funny.
Nailed
Do you
it.
guys think that's really barbed wire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cody lives for these things. No, but to answer your question, Roxy, before I do not that the Area 51 thing, not funny at all. It's just the whole point is that should scare you. If
Yeah.
you're going to raid somewhere, raiding a military base, running there, not very smart.
No.
And jumping into barbed wire, equally not as smart.
Speaking of like America and everything, have you seen?
Sure.
Have you seen the guy throw the fish and the eagle catch it?
What?
What's that?
No.
Okay, so go to.
Is it real?
That sounds awesome.
Go to the Barstool Sports Instagram if you can.
Yeah, we'll
Cody.
see. They always get
How do they
taken
do?
down. or
Yeah,
something.
they always have these great videos and then they're pulled down. Why is that?
I don't think so. I mean, I click on
I don't know what it is.
the. So it's the down,
There it is.
Yeah,
middle
yeah. Okay.
row, far
Left.
left.
To your left.
To your left.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. That one.
Let's see. Let's bring
All
this
right,
up.
watch.
So this is a guy throwing a fish.
Okay, watch.
Hey,
you.
Steve! Come on, buddy!
Oh.
And then the eagle catches the fish. Wait, watch these catch the kid.
Well, they call the
Hey,
thing.
Steve!
Yeah, but maybe the eagle's name is Steve.
I mean,
Look, yeah, I think they knew it was coming.
they.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but
They're
they
throwing it. It's still pretty awesome, but they're throwing it to the
Like
eagle's
you
name
feel like
is
it's
Steve.
a pet?
Yeah, I feel like
they
eagle's
trained an eagle as a pet.
I'm telling you, look, they're throwing it to him.
Yeah.
You don't think Steve's the kid?
No, they see it.
Yeah, of course they see
Well,
it.
they see the
They're
eagle,
doing
but
it on
like-
purpose.
But
Yeah, but
still,
throwing
like
it to the
time
eagle.
a
Oh, no, it was
fish
fantastic.
to an eagle.
It was fantastic, but
Yeah.
it's not. It wasn't like they were chucking the fish and then the eagle just came out of nowhere.
I
Why
don't
would
think
they
the
chuck a
eagle's name
fish?
is Steve. I think the little
The
kid's name is
Steve.
Steve.
Me too.
And then
I would love it if the eagle's name was Steve, though. Let's go with that narrative.
narrative.
Steve the
I like
Eagle.
that.
Steve
Yeah.
Eagle?
Yeah, I would like that.
Everybody
An
likes a
animated
Steve
movie
Goose.
waiting to happen.
Steve
Yeah.
the Eagle Pet.
Yeah.
I like that. To me, it's a
It's
good
actually
cartoon.
not a bad name for a wrestler because they always have those,
Steve
stupid,
the Eagle?
Yeah.
Would you guys hook up with somebody if you were not married who's bald?
A girl
Yes.
or a guy?
Well, that's a plot to a
The
Seinfeld
guy
episode.
probably not.
You're bald. He's
His name
George.
Bald Eagle.
Like I would.
What?
I mean, it kind of depends on how they look.
Natalie
bald.
Portman, V for Vendetta, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
You would?
Yeah.
But like back in the
Why
day
not?
when I was,
You know
when
who
I
looked
s-
at Robin Tunney? Remember Robin Tunney?
No, who's that?
Bring up Robin Tunney. She was
Back
Robin
in the day,
Tunney
we used to say
bald.
if you looked hot in a swim cap, because I swam all the time,
Yeah.
you looked hot without one. And I mean, I'm sure I made out with some girls in swim caps.
Yeah, look,
before.
Robin Tunney. Remember Robin Tunney?
for you.
Look at Robin Tunney. Look at her. You remember Robin Tunney?
I
Is
don't
she the
remember
one
her.
in? She,
Oh
wait,
yeah,
wait, wait.
Empire Records.
That's right.
The Craft.
Yes.
Yes.
That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You guys
right.
ever seen that episode of Friends where Rachel convinces one of Ross's girlfriends to shave her
Yeah,
head?
when they're at a
And-
beach house.
Who is the? You can't answer this because you're Friends junkie. Who was that actress married to?
I know.
Jason.
Ben Stiller.
You're right. It was.
What if it was John Cena?
I thought that, but I wasn't sure actually.
Oh, well then you wouldn't have
Did
well
we-
in that trivia.
you know
See,
what-
but that's not a TV trivia question.
It is. Who's the actress?
Married?
Yeah, who
to?
was that actress
think that's
married to?
pretty-
Do you do that on Movie Trivia Schmodown?
Well, you
Okay.
could.
It's not. It's a TV show.
That actress portrayed one of the
Brady
Brady characters in the
Yes.
Brady Bunch movie.
So boom.
It was Marsha.
It was Marsha.
Marsha.
Did you? What was this Bonnie video that she sent me of her and somebody? And it was like
So-
I told her I'd bring it up on live, and I totally forgot. So now I'm bringing it up.
So
Hey,
Bonnie was. They did this. It was her, and I can't remember the. Oh, who was the student that Ross dated for a while? What was her name?
That threw the water balloons at him
Oh
out the
yeah.
window.
Right.
I don't know. She
David Johnson.
no. She's in a million.
It doesn't matter, but she was. It's her and Bonnie. And they kind of go over
What the hell is her
all
name?
the things that they were so like that Ross did wrong and kind of creepy and stuff, and then that Bonnie thought that she was going to be like a next character, but or the next friend. But what happened? He wound up getting back with his ex-girlfriend, and it's just this whole video, and it did well. I think I can't remember it had like a shit ton of views.
Did it?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great. Yeah.
But
it was
I
on
don't
like
know.
EW or something.
I think so. Yeah, she sent it to me, and I just retweeted or put it on my Instagram story.
Sure.
But then that's why Instagram story. It's like you always say, put everything on Instagram story. It's fucking gone after like
Do you
a
not
day.
keep your stories in highlights?
I don't know what that is. But
You really don't?
No, I have no
I'll help
idea.
you.
I hardly ever use that stupid thing. But but either way,
When you do,
but when
it's
I do,
creepy celebrities.
not anymore.
I know.
I've been editing.
Well, then it's just Schmodown promos.
That's right. Yeah, not just promos.
You're going to Judy on Thursday, right?
Judy. Judy.
Judy.
Sean
Yo,
Astin's in it.
I thought that movie was so good.
Oh, good.
Judy?
You saw
It's
it.
called
Okay,
Judy?
What did you see it last night?
Yeah,
it's Judy Garland. She's going to win, right?
Oh
People
my
are saying
God,
this. People are
Christian.
saying she's crushing.
Yeah,
Who
first
plays
of all,
her?
Renee
Renee
Zellweger.
Zellweger.
But I'm not just saying she's gonna win.
The movie. Fantastic.
I thought the movie was like flawless.
Okay.
I loved it.
Favorite
I mean,
movie?
It's up there with The Farewell, Peanut Butter Falcon.
Wow.
Of
Okay.
the year.
Well, I'm seeing it,
Okay.
taking my wife to see it.
Would we call this the Zellwegasance?
Maybe. Let's.
Renaissance. I'm an idiot.
Renaissance.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Renaissance, that's
You,
true. Well,
you
let's-
got there,
You got
and
there.
that's
You
what's
got there.
important.
Wow,
You
though,
went-
you went in a round.
Yeah,
you
just
took
yelled
the
it at
fucking
yourself.
5,
Yeah.
and then you got there.
Let me talk you out of this that you're hurting yourself right now. If you were in the middle of a pitch session and you said what you did first, what's the first one? you did?
Zellwegasance.
And you did that, and then someone else on the other side said, "What about the Renaissance?" Then you get mad at yourself.
Yes.
You just battled yourself and won.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
He was sad today.
Yes.
And you talked him out of being sad.
Yeah.
I was sad today, and
And I tried to help
and
you, and you told us
punched
to
me.
go fuck ourselves.
it's not
Pretty
what
much.
happened.
Yeah. Okay,
Not-
listen.
not even close,
I want to,
Riley.
before we move into our news stories, I do want to bring it up again. If you notice this wonderful shirt that I have on here
Yeah.
today, I mean, I'm going to be clothed for a very long time, as are we all. These jackets, though, Makuga's getting the best of all this stuff. Look at this jacket that you have.
okay, so
It's like
this
a
is
softball coach.
It's a button-up, right?
It's a no. It's a
pretty awesome.
yeah, it's a button up. I
This
guess
stuff
you would
is
say.
legit.
It's a button up jacket. It's
dope.
actually very warm. I think I'm gonna wear this like snowboarding this year. This
It's
thing
really
is
cool.
sweet.
It's good.
Yeah. And it's got like, I mean, it's a very comfortable jacket. And you know what the problem with a lot of these jackets are?
What?
Is they make a lot of noise.
It
He's like,
doesn't.
shing, 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 shing.
No, it
This
doesn't.
one does
Sounds
not.
good.
It's great.
I
Yeah.
like you wear those jackets very well. You've got your
Yeah,
shirt
but
on.
got a new one on.
I've been wearing mine with jeans recently,
Yeah.
and today I was like, I'm gonna be fancy,
It works.
and I tied it. This is like if you have a boyfriend, a significant other. Shout out, thank you,
you.
Christian, for
You're
reminding
welcome.
everybody I didn't.
You're welcome.
And you want to wear your boyfriend's big shirt, and you do the tie and like all that stuff. So I put it on with my little skirt.
I've lost so many shirts to my wife that I loved.
Not
They've been
anymore.
ruined.
Look at this.
Oh, good for you.
Look, this stuff,
it's so soft.
This stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
We enjoy it, and that's why again, this is the kind of stuff we're going to be wearing with or without this this partnership. But we're happy to have this partnership with Heroes and Villains. Go to heroesvillains.com. It's just heroesvillains.com. You get 15% off of your purchase with the code LIVE15 at checkout. They haven't showed us the numbers yet, but I think that the Collider Live audience already have showed us the
But
numbers.
not showing the numbers, just an update.
Yeah.
Yeah, Live is doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. So
Jedi Council and Rule of Two also.
haven't gone up yet.
Well, they're
Yeah. Oh, we already
Those are
threw that
mine.
out there already too.
Well, Gruber guns.
Oh no, sorry, Rule of Two.
Rule of two. Yeah. Jedi
yeah.
Council. Jedi
Council.
Council.
I
will be
want
tomorrow.
to take these people and wipe the floor with
Right.
them.
So and let's
Very
go
competitive.
let's go and do that because like I said, this is all stuff you're going to wear anyway. So go get 15% off of it. Live 15 and put Collider Live as the number one. Again, we're all family here, but let's beat Heroes. Let's beat Movie Talk. Let's beat Jedi Council. Let's beat Rule of Two. Let's beat them all.
I'll do this
Live
right
15.
now too. I'll do this right now. If you guys go and you do an order and you use the code LIVE15 and you see me anywhere in Los Angeles, you come up to me and be like, "Hey, I watch Collider Live. I will give you this jacket."
Whoa.
Give you the jacket. I may not have it on me, but just give me your address and I will send you the jacket. No
I
problem.
used the code.
No.
You're going to regret that.
I don't get the jacket.
Hey, listen, if you find me in Los
If you find
Angeles,
it,
and
something-
I
Somebody
used the
found me
code.
at Ralph's.
It
Rock
can't
and roll
count at a
Ralph's.
Schmodown event or something.
no,
Yeah, it's
no,
gotta
it's
be
got to be
just
like
walking
in
around.
public, whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm out. I'm at the Cheesecake Factory,
Yeah.
whatever.
Fine.
It's a
Yeah,
scavenger
I think
hunt
you should.
for
I think you
Makuga.
need to be wearing the jacket. You can have the jacket off my back type thing.
Okay,
Just got to wear the jacket more.
I understand
Every
that.
day.
but you know,
Every
I
day now.
sweat all the time, so wearing
It's
a
getting
jacket.
cold soon.
I know, but it doesn't matter.
still-
Like,
you gotta wear
Speaking
t-shirts at
of
20 degrees?
sweat.
it gets 20 degrees in Los
It
Angeles.
can if you wanted to.
You're a real
I don't think that's how
jackwagon.
temperature works.
It can inside your head.
I snow pierce the sky just to wear a jacket.
See? All of
Yeah.
a sudden, you become Storm.
Yeah.
So thank you once again, Heroes.
I want one of these hats too.
Yeah, the hats are
The
rad.
hat's
I like
dope.
them too. HeroesVillains.com, 15% off, Live 15. Beat them all. Show them
Yes.
who's the best audience. It's Collider Live. There's no doubt about it. Collider Live is definitely the best audience that we've got going on here right now, and I'll tell you another reason why.
100p, baby.
But here's another reason why. We're at 91,000, okay, whatever it might be.
the year I was
Consistently
born.
doing, whether it's 30, 40,000 views on the episodes, people are coming in. That is a great ratio when you come to the subscriber rate. If you look at the
Yeah.
90,000 plus, you get 25 to 30,000 every episode, and when that's not including the podcast numbers, not including the peace out numbers, this show right now is thriving because of everything that you guys are doing. So thank you so much. Remember that when you look and you see the 91,000 as opposed to the 25,000 30 views, That's
pretty
a
good.
good
We're,
audience.
we're the number one show on the network.
Easily.
Sorry.
It's like the the Roxy getting lost ratio. 90% of the time she drives, 30% of the time she gets lost.
Right. Yeah. Very true. Okay.
Which, if you think about it, 60% of the time I find where I'm going.
True.
All right. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to some movie news because we got a lot of it, a lot of stuff,
yeah, we
and
sure do.
we should also mention obviously the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, the prequel, which it premiered on August 30th on Netflix. We have one of the we have one of the directors, writers,
One of the writers
excuse me.
and co-executive
Yes.
producers is coming in, and Javier, he's fantastic. He has been a producer on Lost. He's been a producer on the Charlie's Angels remake, a number of things.
Boomtown. I want to talk to him because this is something that for a long time. What I do want to ask him when he's in here is if they and how come they didn't approach Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
To be in this some one way or another. Because you've watched the first season or a lot of them?
Yeah, I've done like half.
Are they doing a second season? Is it
know.
can
Has
it be
not been greenlit yet. I don't
Okay,
know
but
about
does it because I've watched
He hasn't finished it.
Haven't finished it yet.
Okay,
I would imagine they left it open.
I don't know the answer to
Based
that
on,
question.
so I've watched
well.
a bit as well, and based on the world they're creating, I
Seems
feel
like
like
it,
no
right?
matter what the ending of this season that they've set
Yeah.
up is, it's a whole world.
Well, my goal is to get Joe Manganiello a job, if not because the dude.
Yeah, he is
he's
struggling.
I'm talking about in this.
Can your
No,
goal be to
well,
get me a
because remember the
job?
interview we did,
He
we talked.
is
He loves
Dude,
Dark
the
Crystal.
guy is like the way that I feel about Star Wars. You feel about the Steelers. I mean, he's a Steelers fan too.
Big
But
Steeler guy.
this dude loves. I wonder if you only give him a choice between D&D and Dark Crystal, what he would take. I don't know.
Well, I
that'd
know
be
for a
his
fact
two
that he
babies.
has been part of a almost you want to call an ownership group of
D&D.
people going after
I know,
D&D.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, we talked about both of those things. But he's, dude, I'm telling you, when you talk to him about Dark Crystal, he turns into a
I like Dark
6-year-old.
Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
Dark
like-
Crystal.
What you watching?
Dark
Dark Crystal.
Crystal.
It was like how
Smoke it.
the people from Bad Boys 3 did not reach out to me just for like a quick cameo. Like I
Why
could be
wouldn't
the
they?
captain's, intern, or his son. I'm
It's
like,
ridiculous.
whatever.
You've
It's-
been busting your ass
I
as a
mean,
Bad Boys
full
fan
you
for 5 years.
You said quick cameo, and then you pitched what could be very big roles.
yeah, something like that.
All right.
I'm also a very good actor,
I could like
Roxy.
star in it.
Yeah, so duh.
Let us move on
To what?
to some
What
movie
you
news.
thinking?
What you got?
I got that MoviePass is not dead.
Not dead.
It's
no.
not dead. So one of the guys, Ted Farnsworth, the financer and former E CEO.
That's a made up name.
That's gotta be. It's like
Hello, I'm Ted Farnsworth.
If you're doing a Fox show about who are we gonna what's the character's name? Farnsworth. Yeah.
Farnsworth.
Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna take them out of the shits? Is it gonna be Principal or Governor Morris? No, it's Farnsworth.
Of course, it's Farnsworth, you jerk.
It's a villain name. He shows up and he buys the house from your grandmother
Well,
because she
well.
can't afford to live there. He buys that house and sells it to somebody.
Farnsworth.
I can't
All right.
even say the name.
What's Farnsworth?
Boston
So is it-
Farnsworth.
So Farnsworth is the financer and former CEO of the parent company of MoviePass.
Of
So he
course.
removed himself from that company
Farnsworth!
to buy MoviePass back to launch it again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, of course he did.
Okay, Farnsworth.
Do you guys know how passionate Dan Merle is about this movie pass storyline?
No.
Oh,
my
yeah, he
God.
loves it.
No, no.
Merle Pass?
No, he loves talking
Yeah.
about it.
From day one, he gets the updates to his phone. He is the most
he's on
in the
it.
know
Really?
on MoviePass I've ever met.
What?
Did you guys hear this whole
Should we call Dan
Can we
Merle?
get
this
Dan
whole
Merle on the phone? You want to
this
text
whole
him?
dog paw storyline? Did you guys hear about all that with MoviePass? I guess they put out.
I'm gonna text him.
Okay.
They're like one of the positions. It was some pun that you probably could come up with more.
Nice.
Instead of like
Movie paws?
human resources, it was like human paw sources, but it was something more clever than that. And they put out a dog's face that sent an email and was like, "We're sorry for the woof woof, sorry," like whatever it was. They have an entire dog mascot that's been
For
sending
MoviePass.
emails apologizing when you can't use your MoviePass for one reason. I think if Dan could strangle MoviePass as a thing, he would. Nothing pisses him off like that.
Wow.
It's
Well,
unreal to watch him rant about
and
it.
that movie, what is it, Gotti? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
and
Gotti.
that
Yeah,
one
he
too.
went out for Gotti. So,
yeah.
yeah.
He went out for God.
He went. Yeah, he
went after
and the
him.
movie. The movie went after him.
Not auditioned. Not auditioned.
No. He
That'd be
was
amazing.
he just said stinks,
Yeah.
right? And then he went after it, and then they came after him, and then he went back after that. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Dan. That's the thing with Dan, because Dan is the nicest human in the world, right?
I just don't mess with him.
But he don't mess with him. Yeah. He's not a guy that it's like, it's like, oh, he's just like a punching bag. He's a farthest thing from it. I mean, you've seen it even something like the Schmoedown, right? Like where when he was just
pissed
competing.
when I lost with that belt.
He definitely was. But when he was competing originally and someone got him fired up, he's not sitting there just going, deal with it in the ring. He went right after him. Like, you watch the old stuff with him and Roker, or even Riley told him, when they were going to compete, and he's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I never called you about not being your partner anymore. And Dan went after him. Remember that?
He got pissed.
It was great.
Yeah.
Dan is, and especially things like this. Dan gets fired up. Man.
He cannot hear the word MoviePass and not like.
So did MoviePass? Did they like produce the Gotti movie? Were they like the company behind?
Wait.
I think that's what it was.
I think they
You know what?
were.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think this is where this stems from. I think you're right.
Because so I told you I listened to that podcast, The
think you're
Spectacular
right,
Failures.
yes.
They talked about MoviePass getting into being a production.
You're
company.
MoviePass bought a
100%
stake
right.
in Gotti.
That's exactly right, and that's why this all stems back to the hatred between Gotti and MoviePass for Merle. You're absolutely right. That's where it started. That's where a lot of this.
And every time Armand Asante pops up in The Deuce, I think of that Gotti movie that he did for HBO back in the day.
Yeah, for sure.
And Gotti's showing up in this season of The Deuce. By the way, The Deuce on HBO, I mentioned on TV, talked about it. It's probably the most underrated show they've done.
Is it the Clive Owen one?
No.
James Franco.
James Franco plays 2K. He plays twin brothers
Are
in
you
the show.
guys surprised that that show got another season? With
They had to do
James
a final.
Franco? Oh.
Yeah, they had to do a final season mostly because they were like midway through shooting the final season when all that stuff happened with James Franco.
I still don't really fully understand what the James Franco story was.
That's the other. Well, so the.
Not that we need to
gist
talk
of it.
about that right now.
Just the gist of it was just that again,
was
this
his
goes back to what
school.
we were just talking about before. There's no, it was during all the stuff to where people would throw stuff out. This is what happened. Okay, you're guilty.
Right.
So and we don't know. But there's some stuff that he was teaching class and
Yeah.
It was his school, right?
Not his school, but he was teaching at school. I think NYU or something. I don't know where it was.
NYU
but
or Yale or
wherever.
something.
But he was
No, I
teaching
thought he had his own out
acting
here.
classes
yeah.
and stuff too. I think maybe it was a mixture of both. Whatever it was that he was doing. He just was. I guess some of the actresses that were either getting nude during scenes or whatever, and it felt wrong. There was underage girls or some. There was a lot of other stuff. But
Was
again,
he hooking up with the girls? Was that the accusation?
I don't know all of it, but either way, it all came out right around the time. Sometimes,
Disaster artist.
And sometimes this is where it's like politics, because sometimes this stuff happens right around like times like that, like right where he's about to get nominated, and then it all comes out. Now, why, when, how? There's just so much. There's so much going on where it's something that we've talked about briefly, and we don't get too much into it, but I think that we talked about a little bit with Sean Weens yesterday too. It's just the social media culture right now. But the social media culture, it's just too dangerous. Yeah, it's just too dangerous because it's.
Is that how that got released via social media?
I mean, that's how it spread. I mean, it's just too dangerous because it's and everybody's guilty of it, and everybody in this room is guilty of it. Everybody is guilty of seeing something going, oh, yep. Okay. Yeah. And it's wrong. It's overall wrong. There's some things that clear. Bill Cosby, I think you brought it up the other day too. Clear cut fact. We have the evidence.
Right.
We know this. Opinion. State your opinion.
Sure.
Be on with your day.
Donald Sterling tapes. We have the tapes. He is a complete racist.
Right.
Yeah.
With this we know.
Right. And I think that, like I said, we've all been guilty of it. But it's just I hope as more people and the Bill Burrs of the world and Dave Chappelle's,
Push the limits.
I push the limits, but also I think listen more before screaming.
Yeah,
but who knows?
Well, this all started because you should all watch The Deuce because it's great. Maggie Gyllenhaal in that show she's incredible. It's like this show is so well done, and I mean it's David Simon, so of course it's going to be well done. But nobody's watching it. I don't know a soul that has watched this show besides me.
She's not my favorite performer.
Who? Maggie Gyllenhaal? Mm-hmm. She's great in this show.
Really?
She's really, and I will be 100% with you. She's never been my favorite.
Does she
performer
bug
at all.
you? Is that what it is?
A little bit.
Because there are actresses that I think are really good.
It's not that she's not good. There's something about her.
Yeah, Sadie's the same way too.
With Maggie?
With Maggie, yeah. She appreciates that she's good and just bugs.
Yeah.
Just people.
That's Anne Hathaway.
There was this show she did where she had a British accent.
Like Anne Hathaway.
She bugs me.
She bugs me.
I love Anne Hathaway.
I don't get that.
I love it.
I
I
love her
watched
too.
that movie, The Hustle. That movie was
is it
brutal.
terrible?
It's
I haven't.
brutal.
Yeah.
And
Not
and-
Hustlers.
No,
No, Hustle.
Hustlers I haven't seen
It's
yet.
with-
I
it's
kind of
with-
want to see
I do
Hustlers
too.
now.
I do too. Yeah.
But The Hustle is with her and Rebel Wilson, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
Is it
the-
Rebel
it's
Wilson
the
just
remake
doing
of the of Dirty Rotten
Oh, that was
Scoundrels?
Yes.
this year
Yeah.
also,
Yeah,
right?
is Rebel Wilson just doing Rebel Wilson?
yes, and Anne Hathaway. It's very hokey and
Do
not
you
very
watch-
well done.
Do you guys watch her in
Felt rushed.
interviews?
Anne
Who
Hathaway?
Rebel Wil-
Anne Hathaway.
No.
That's why she bugs
Oh,
me.
okay. Why do you think she's a little too hoity-toity?
Oh my god! Like you hear her talk about cannabis or like her just the way she speaks about things is like holier than thou, and
She doesn't like weed?
she just is like, I would never talk about that publicly. Like she does weird things with her face and won't answer questions.
I'll say this: my only interaction with Anne Hathaway, I was living in New York. They were shooting Devil Wears
Art
Prada.
Class.
Art
No,
Class,
no.
yeah. Devil Wears Prada, Ken Knapsack's favorite movie. And
You were working at the restaurant?
No. I was getting off the subway, and they had held people in the subway station. It's the summertime in New York. You don't hold people in a subway station.
No.
And so they were shooting the scene where she's walking down the subway stairs. I'm like, first of all, just let the people go and get the camera shot you need to get. I
Let the
understand.
people
It's
go,
like, come on.
Kagan.
So people are trying to get through. Like some guy goes like, I'm late for work and it's hot down here. Like I totally understand. So I just walked right through. And Anne Hathaway screams down the stairs, "You all better stand still!" Screamed it. And I was like,
Ugh.
fuck that bitch. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, and I've honestly never liked Anne Hathaway outside of the Princess Engagement Diaries.
Never seen Havoc?
Never seen
You
Havoc.
just made up a movie.
I did. It's Princess Engagement, isn't it?
Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries.
Right.
That was pretty close.
I like her.
Why did you
I
put
think
in the
so.
word engagement in between Princess and
Wasn't there an
Diaries?
It's a sequel.
The,
In the sequel, yeah,
the
she
Princess Engagement Diaries.
It sort of sounds like a movie. Thanks.
Have you guys ever heard my Mila Kunis story?
No, hit it.
I smoked a joint with her.
You kind of
Really?
remind me of Mila Kunis a little bit.
Oh no, this story
can see
doesn't
that.
bode well for me then.
No, like looks wise.
Oh,
you have
thank
like a
you.
Mila
I'll
Kunis.
take that.
You have
She-
like a Mila Kunis in that 70s show vibe.
Yeah.
She's.
Yeah,
I will
okay.
definitely take that.
Spit it
I went to go. I have a famous friend, and
look at you.
so I was invited to go see Obama
Carrot
speak.
Top? Your famous friend?
Oh no! I thought you
Jason
were calling
Priestley.
Obama Carrot Top. I was like, I've never heard that one before.
your famous friend.
See him speak at the backyard in a Beverly Hills home and with 250 people. It was like a really cool thing.
If
this
you were
is when he was
stoned,
running
was
for.
it an impersonator? Or was it?
No,
or was it really?
it was not stoned, and it was not an impersonator.
All right, fine.
It was when he was running for his second term.
Okay.
And to get into this, you know when he comes to town, how they shut down all
everything.
So think about the security right there.
Trump was here last night. I heard traffic
he's
was insane
already.
in
It was bad.
Yeah, he's still here.
Yes.
He's downtown. They shut it off.
So he's at this time he's the president of the United States. So the security is
Insane.
nuts. I mean, he's got Secret Service everywhere. So in order to get in, you have to wait in line and you go through like these detectors and you get patted down and the whole thing. And in front of me is Jack Black, Don Cheadle, list of so many, like the hugest of the
The who's of
huge
who's.
Obama
Yeah.
supporters.
Clooney.
And Mila Kunis, like this was the hottest club in town, walks up and right to the front, cuts in front of all of them, and tries to go in. And they're like, "Ma'am, we need to stop you." And she was like, "Do you know who I am?" And
Did she say that?
and again, I don't know. Bad day, whatever it is. Who knows? It's the
Yeah. She's
I
very
don't
nice
know.
when I hung out.
I saw her the other day at Soho House with her kids, and she seemed lovely,
Probably not a bad day.
which was crazy because I was like, wow. That one time and they went to like. Is it bad that I'm saying
Restrainer?
this?
No, too
Whatever.
late now.
Yeah, too late. No, they were like, no, we need to search you and you need to get to the. And she was just so upset, like so bummed about it, and was like, okay, I went back into the line.
But she didn't cause a fit.
I mean, walking in front of.
No, what I'm
bunch of
saying
A-listers.
I know. I mean, she.
No, she
you
didn't
never know.
scream, do anything like that. But I was just, it was just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, she probably just kinda-
surprising.
Erratic or whatever it might be. Like, I guess
Surprising.
that.
I was very early in my career
Yeah.
here, and I was just like, wow, that was crazy. It's
during,
the-
her, it was
it's
during
the-
her Macaulay Culkin
It's the
days.
president of the United States, and maybe she didn't know. Maybe she didn't know what was going on, but it was just like, what?
My first job when I moved here, I was delivering groceries, and my first delivery ever was Mila Kunis and Macaulay Culkin at Macaulay Culkin's house.
Awesome.
She answered the door, and I was like, "Bah!" Like
I didn't realize the Succession guy is Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Oh yeah, Kieran
Kieran.
Culkin. Yeah, he's
He's
the more
fire.
He's the
So
more
good.
He's been in
accomplished
everything
like
now.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so good.
What's the other one?
I don't know
Macaulay
him.
Kieran and Kristen? No, Calvin.
Is it a girl or a boy?
Rory Culkin.
right.
Thanks.
Girl or
Way
boy?
off. It's a boy. Another guy.
Did you ever think of Rory Hall? Was that ever like an option?
No.
All right. Rory
What were
Hall.
the other names
Yeah, what were the
beside
options?
Grant?
Marissa was pretty sold on Grant, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. I get it. Like, so I'm telling you, like, my wife knew my first daughter's name like way before we even
Yeah.
had sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted my Amanda hates all
What?
of the names that I want to name either child. And it's,
She doesn't like
it's-
hearing-
No. And I think
Chet.
it's hysterical. Well, of course,
Hawk.
Chet. Duh.
Hawk Makuga would be
It's
great.
sick, right?
Hawk's amazing.
Yeah. Joshua Hawk Makuga. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. You just go.
I like
Leroy
that.
Makuga.
Leroy Jenkins Makuga. That's
like
pretty
that.
good.
Did you
yeah.
guys think about this shit growing up?
What names of childs? Yeah.
Childs.
You did?
Child.
Do you know the names of childs?
Leroy
Whoopsie-daisy.
Jenkins.
Names of childs?
Yes, you
Because
did.
you were the first motherfucker to call somebody out when that happened.
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Do you know the names of childs? Because I don't.
Childs? Childs? You mean the guy down the street?
Childs.
The guy
Childs
that lives right. He lives down the
Childs
alleyway.
Jones?
Julia Charles.
Julia Childs?
John Hall. It's one of the few impressions I can do. Oh, take the bird.
Let them eat.
Wow, bizarre. Can we
Let
go
them
back
eat
for a
cake.
second? Why did you smoke a joint with Mila Kunis? In what capacity?
So it was the one when I think I don't know if I talked about it on air with him with Seth Green when Seth was on here.
Yeah.
I think we may have talked. I talked about it with him. But I don't know if it was on the air. Well, you did your story, I'll do mine. We went to I think it was Family. They were doing Family Guy at the I don't know if it was a Wiltern or whatever it was, but I had a girl I was dating at the time kind of got us in, and we were backstage with them hanging out. It was her, Seth Green. I don't know if Breckenmeyer was there. I remember them, and then we were puffing a joint in the backstage, and then there was a knock on the door, and it was Rob Lowe and his kids. His kids were young at the time, right? It's like 2003, whatever. And we were hiding the joint and everything too because they were big fans of the show. So came in and we're like, we can't believe we just like hid weed from like Rob Lowe.
Right.
Rob Lowe would probably want to smoke
You
weed
guys got
anyway.
coke?
Yeah, right. Back in the day, but he cleaned himself up. Obviously.
Yeah.
But he
His
was
roast was pretty good.
Yeah, he was
Well done.
he was a fucking wild man when he was in his 20s.
I really
now,
like
though,
his path. I
Yeah,
think
he cleaned himself up. But now though, that tape and all this that's child's play. The shit that he did back in the 80s, that was like crazy shit. That's nothing.
Now
It would
you
be
become
like
a billionaire
You
with
become
a
a
sex tape.
billionaire off it. Yeah, he got roasted for it, and his career almost went down the tubes for that sex tape.
Yeah.
And now he'd be getting $20 million
His
for a
own-
movie for
yeah,
doing
correct.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and a billion Instagram followers.
Totally. Yep.
And the world has changed. It's not World War II anymore.
I didn't know that Kendall and Kylie Jenner are both billionaires.
Oh, I mean, think about it. Think about the people you know that are not celebrities that make a living off of Instagram.
I know.
And they have like what, maybe 70, 80, 100,000
Kendall
followers?
Jenner sold like $1 billion in makeup in the first week.
Because,
that's,
but
Kylie.
Kylie, sorry.
Yeah.
The line is called Kylie.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
but it makes a lot of sense
Thanks,
though
dog.
when you
Appreciate
think you pick up a magazine in the fucking
Kendall's a model.
supermarket and you
Yeah.
see the thing for whatever the makeup is, right? Okay, it goes in and out. You're scrolling through and there's an incredibly beautiful picture of whoever it is, and then it's like, oh, by the way, boom, boom, boom. That sticks in your mind just as much, if not more.
Correct.
Wait, I'm confused. By the way, bum bum bum. What is that?
Whatever the brand is, I don't know. What the
Wait, but
brand
what
is.
sticks in your mind?
So if you're looking at the picture,
Yeah.
you're scrolling through, and someone, Kylie, whoever's really attractive picture, and then in it it's, oh yeah, by the way, on my thing, I'm promoting blah 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 today. The hot picture sticks in your mind, and that sticks in your mind more so because you continue.
What they're
to go-
promoting
Yes,
sticks.
continuing to go through Instagram as opposed to being on the, you see it in the newspaper or the newspaper. I'm like, I'm 80 years old. In the Us
You're
Weeklies,
flipping
whatever.
through D's
You're
section
going
5.
through, and Orson Welles comes on the radio and tells you to run.
Dateline, Kristian found a newspaper.
Wow.
Kendall Jenner is showing a tootie.
Guys, this is what I read the other day about the word newspaper. You guys tell me if you knew this.
Oh,
I
let's
don't-
hear from you, Roxy.
I don't even know-
1941.
I don't
People
even
would
know
read
if
it
it's
to get
true.
information.
How old were you when you found out that newspaper means north, east, west, south, past, and present event report?
40s.
Today.
I would say today is the day. Dateline, September
Do you think that's
17th,
true?
I don't know.
2019. Never
Isn't
knew
that
that's what it
crazy?
stands
I'm
for.
just telling you horseshit.
There was one like that yesterday with when was the day you realized Kissed by a Rose from Seal is about cocaine.
All right, listen, we're going to go to break, and then I'm going to tell you when we get back from the break
Why?
why I'm really upset with you.
Not me, though.
No, I'm over that.
Damn.
We
So
got
we're good.
problems.
We good?
After the break.
Hey guys, it's Perry here to let you know that Movie Talk is moving. We've had a great time in this 3 p.m. Pacific slot, but guess what? We want you to start your day with Collider Movie Talk, so we're moving. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a longer show with some brand new segments, so tune in starting Monday, September 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, if you've been watching us every week, we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh McCouga. We've had Taylor Bashadi on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Riley here. Let me tell you about the Riley Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Riley Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Well, hello there. I'm Ken Knapsack, one of the hosts of Collider JUDY Council, and I'd like to invite you to listen to our show, watch our show. It's on every Thursdays on the Collider Video channel, and it's also available in podcast form if you'd like to listen to our sweet voices on Collider JUDY Council, me, Kristian Harloff, and a bevy of guests, I say, talk Star Wars. We celebrate Star Wars. We dig into the Star Wars news. We speculate everything about Star Wars, including your questions. So join us on Collider JUDY Council. You're going to have a great time.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Riley here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's JUDY Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Kristian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider JUDY Council. We talk about everything Star Wars. It's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel. But if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Apple Podcasts, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out. And then after Episode 9, you got TV shows. So we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hi, I'm Amy Dallin, one of the hosts of Collider Heroes, and starting right now, you can catch our show Tuesday nights with a new Collider Heroes and a longer Collider Heroes podcast, where Coy and I are gonna talk your ears off. You already know that's coming. So make sure to go to YouTube, subscribe, and find us on the Collider Heroes podcast feed for all of that sweaty goodness.
The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horror-filled podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. And on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
Go ahead, Riley. Riley's. You got to catch Riley in a moment when he's upset. So what happened here?
Let's just say he has the same name as another bachelor man who lives in a van.
I don't want to. Yeah.
All right, what happened?
Down by the river.
Well, first off, we got another song.
Yeah, we do have another song.
From Jonah.
Yeah, and
Jonah Gallegos.
Is it Gallegos or
Gallegos? I would like to find out.
Jonah did both the songs.
And do we know it's Jonah or could it be Jonna?
Jonna, I don't know.
We're going to call the fucking guy Jonas for now.
285 subscribers.
And so he has 295? Great. So Jonah did a great song about chips. He did a great song about Roxy. He did not do a song about Ecolat just yet, but he did do a song about Cal and Riley. It's a great song.
Riley's
you should
crying
listen
in the
to. I
office.
know.
You should listen to it. We're not playing this because I will lose my shit.
It's a song that is a great
really sweet.
heartfelt song. It's
so
just not a
heartfelt.
song for the air because we're goofy. We don't like to have feelings on this shit.
Yes, true.
So
I try. I have a lot of feelings, and you guys snuff
Shut
them
up,
out.
Roxy.
Yeah.
Thank
all
you.
right. So the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that we retract something.
Yes, we do.
We didn't. Cody came running in afterwards.
Whoopsie-daisy.
Cody came running in. He's like,
What
"Oh,
is it?"
So the reason that Rob Lowe got so much shit, the girl, he was 24 and the girl was 16.
16.
So
That's
that's why the sex tape was probably a bad thing. Real bad thing.
I literally had no idea he had a sex tape.
Yeah. I don't think he knew though the girl was 16 from what I remember of the story now.
Wait,
But no. But either
he
way,
was-
that's
was he
that one he should.
charged
No,
with-
I don't know what it was,
Oh.
but either way, he should have gotten the shit that he got.
So the song that the guy did for me, Cal, yeah.
So
Let's
there
not
you go.
clip out that part
Hey,
of the video.
That happens.
What
But
happened?
no, Jonah, thank you very much for this song. Seriously,
the song is great.
it means the world to me.
It does mean the world to me, and there's something that means the world to me.
What
that
is it?
Josh McCouga.
Jonah.
You know, man.
What I do this
We've been
time?
through a lot together.
What happened?
We've been through a lot.
What I do?
And then when I walk into this room, sometimes you're so excited about things.
Yeah.
There's not one mention today that we're going to see fucking Rambo tonight.
Oh, I know.
We're seeing Rambo tonight.
Piss off,
We're
sirs.
seeing, no, you could have went. I have no sympathy for you.
I couldn't have. I had
Yes, you
work.
could. No, you
No.
could have. You could.
I'm gonna
Look,
see
There's
if-
ways to call in sick.
I'm gonna bring
I
a
don't
bow
call
and
in
arrow
sick.
to
You
the.
guys know that.
Yeah, you're full of
I'm gonna
shit.
bring a bow and arrow.
Never
to the
called in
screening.
sick to a
I
single
don't know
show
about
in
that.
10
Maybe a
years.
Nerf one.
Nerf
Yeah,
bow
they
and
still
arrow.
have Nerf ones.
Yes. Oh, they do.
They sell it next to Pert.
Yes. I had a Nerf bow and arrow for. Remember? Okay.
I think you said Nerf boner.
No. Well, you know.
Nerf boner.
The
Do you guys
Nerf.
ever get boners in movies?
Yes, all the time.
What do you do? Put your jacket on your penis?
No, you just tuck it up. It's like a
In
tuck
the
up.
movie?
It's if you're wearing
You got-
jeans,
you-
it's always
you
a
gotta-
tuck.
Sorry,
you gotta shift.
sorry. The movie theater.
Yeah, you got to shift.
You shift.
During
Because
the movie?
It's called The Shift.
You got to shift.
You
What are you going to
always-
do? You want to just sit there and be uncomfortable?
you have no
No, I
idea.
just don't understand how. I don't know. Like, I can't
Jeans
imagine
keep the boner in
if like
check
my
for the
tits
most
got
part.
higher during a movie.
It doesn't feel good if you're sitting and you don't adjust.
If
You
I
gotta
just
adjust.
can't. But what is happening on screen that makes you guys
Naked
like?
nudity.
Sometimes it just happens.
Ow.
Sometimes
Could
it
be a
just
strong
pops up.
wind.
Sometimes it just happens.
Jessica
Wow.
Chastain.
I remember that with Phil in like 8th grade.
Who's
Miss Snorlack was talking and he fucking popped a boner.
Well, maybe Miss Sorlak was a
How
piece of
hot
ace.
was Miss
she
Snorlack?
was, guys.
Nah.
We're talking like a 75-year-old.
Oh, she looked like the woman in Labyrinth that has all the stuff.
yeah.
She looked like somebody with the last name Snorlack.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
She fit her last name really well.
Class, turn to page 21.
I remember looking over and he
Snorlack.
had popped a wee wee, and I was like, "What
Is
is
he wearing like
happening?"
mesh shorts, sweatpants? Because jeans, it's tough.
Yeah, the mesh.
Mesh
It's the
shorts.
mesh.
He now
Umbros.
owns the website GILF.
Yes.
Do you guys on purpose not wear mesh shorts to the movie theater in case you pop a wee wee?
You should.
Also-
Shorts are better because shorts will just hide it. It'll go
Yeah.
whoop.
Yeah.
It bounces up the wall, just goes right
But
back.
also, if you're wearing like mesh shorts are for working out and for like lounging around the house, not for wearing to a movie.
Have you ever had to out loud apologize for a boner?
No.
Yes,
No.
Yes.
I have.
This isn't what we were even talking about. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
Acting class. Acting class. When you
acting
do
class,
a
no.
love scene.
Do you want to hear?
Yeah, I'll tell you the craziest story. And this is not crazy. I think it's not crazy.
I'm
but
going to give you a good one after this one.
I had a hot female doctor for
Yeah.
physicals.
Happens.
And
Why'd you do that?
It's not his fault.
it was just it just happened.
Yeah.
And you know, you get the physical, and I'm like, no, don't do it.
Uh-huh.
Don't
Like
do
you're
it.
talking to you.
In my head.
Yeah.
I'm going, don't do it. And then I just as it was starting to happen, I said, I'm going to step out.
Well,
You said that out loud to her?
Yeah, because I pretended like I had a stomach thing or something.
there are places
Did
where
you think
you're-
she knew?
Probably.
It had to.
Yeah.
There were
How were
places.
you a kid?
No.
No.
I'm ready
that
for
last
this
week.
Kuga.
There are places where you're very, very vulnerable,
Yeah.
right? One of them is the dentist chair, okay? I had a very hot dentist. I definitely had a boner, but I had jeans, so she couldn't really tell, at least I think.
Wait, but you had a boner like for her doing your teeth?
No, I was just thinking about her taking off her clothes while she was doing her teeth.
You were thinking about Jennifer Aniston and horrible bosses.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's the thing, Roxy. It's not like,
Can
I'm getting
you
a
see
boner,
me?
and I'm like, I got to put this thing away. And then I think, well, if the doctor took off all her clothes and was to have her way with me with,
Right.
all kinds of things happening, then yeah, great.
Wow.
But
I can't imagine having a penis.
All right, so I'm in.
It's a soundbite right there.
I'm 15 years old, 15, 16, whatever, and I'm getting my lifeguard certification.
26.
Yeah, getting my lifeguard certification.
Right.
Okay. Now, one of the things that you have
Hold
to
on,
do.
there's an airplane coming through the studio.
What is that?
It's not an airplane. That is a
boner.
Oh, you know what that is?
Boner
That's
train.
Trump coming over with the chopper.
You are not.
I think that's
wrong.
what I am.
I'm
think I just
pretty
got
sure you are.
He's flying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge chopper.
Greatest chopper.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, so when you're in lifeguard training, they have to put you on one of those boards. If you if you jump in and break your neck, you have to pull them up and they put you on a board, right? So there's like, does anybody volunteer? Now I'm like, no way I'm volunteering for this. Okay, some kid was like, yeah, and I'm like, shit, it's a dude. This is a bad scene. So they pull him out and they lay him on the thing, and he's got like a loose bathing suit, right?
Yeah.
And they lay him on the thing, and you have to pull him out of the water. And the three girls are like doing the thing, are smoking hot, and the one's got like a bikini
So
on.
it turned into a compass.
Yeah. And he's got this like the bathing suit stuck to him, and he just goes like full attention.
Yeah.
And me and the dude, the guy's like, oh, this poor fucking dude. And you could see his face getting like redder and redder because he can't.
You can't
move.
stop it.
He can't move.
But if he was hung like a
Can
walrus,
you stop it
then
with
maybe,
your mind?
You could try, but it's tough. It's not easy.
But what
It's
if the
not
girl?
easy.
What if the girls are saying and said, "Look, Joey over here he's hung like a porn star.
Oh, Joey snores.
Joey
Snortica.
snores, and look at
Snorlax.
this. It's a
Snorlax.
good way to do it. And besides looking like a creep, going, "Oh, look at my pole that I just dropped on the floor
It's
like
true,
an Alex."
but in front of like 100 people.
True.
Does anybody say
He's
anything
now a
like?
porn star.
There was a lot of giggling.
Oh,
You're
'cause-
15 years old.
Right. Would be better if he just ripped one.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
it's so
All right,
awkward.
let's get. I don't know
It's
how
so
we got
awkward.
here, but let's get.
He was
Let's
talking about
movie theaters.
Boners and jeans.
movie theaters.
And we're talking about Ramboners.
Okay, let's get to Rambo.
I know that.
Rambi.
Happening tonight.
Yes.
Gonna see it.
Nice,
Last
guys.
Can't wait. Going back to basics here.
Yes.
And I could not be happier. I'm glad that you're gonna be there because this is gonna be something. We're gonna be like two kids in a candy shop here tonight watching.
Who do
this
you
shit.
think kills more people in this movie, Rambo or John Matrix?
Who is not from
Rambo.
Matrix?
Matrix?
I think-
Nah.
You know, I don't know.
He did-
Look at those trailers.
John
There's a lot of people showing up there.
Go back to the scene
Yeah.
at the end. John Matrix does like this with the gun, and 40 people die.
That's
Yeah, it's just
you're not wrong.
Yeah, no, it's John.
What
how many,
percent-
Can you Google how many people did John Matrix kill in Commando?
Yeah,
Let's
that's
do
a
a
good
guess.
question.
Let's do a
Okay.
guess. I'm gonna say 103.
Okay, I was gonna guess 96.
78.
I'm gonna go 150.
All right, let's
Wow.
81.
Wow.
He killed
I
81
was
people.
the closest.
81
Damn.
people.
After not knowing he wasn't in the Matrix.
It's a great question. Who's killed the most in
John Wick
in one
3, I think,
movie?
was
in one
160.
movie. Did he? How many? Yeah, how many people did John Wick kill in John Wick 3?
I would
think
say
total.
216.
No way.
In the second one, he kills 114. I know that because
128.
There you go. See?
That's what I said.
He kills
That's
128
the second
people.
one.
That's the second one.
Yeah, I don't think the third one's up
Still,
there yet.
but still 120. Oh wait, but
We're
that's not.
rewatching
That's
that
is
now.
that 1 and 2?
No.
No.
He's up to taking out 94 and 3.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
94 and 3.
Oh,
His
no, total number's 299. Yeah.
That's total.
That's what I said.
So in John Wick 1 is 128, and in John Wick chapter. Well, hold on. John Wick Chapter 2, he kills 128. In John Wick 3, 94 people.
Wow, he goes down.
They don't do
Great.
number 1, yeah. Interesting.
gotta work
Do
on his
so what about
game.
Stallone
what
in
is
Rambo
the
2?
chance?
Go ahead.
What is the chance that Rambo lives? Percentage.
I'm not giving it high. I'm not giving it high.
What's the percentage?
But they never kill. Like I thought they were going to kill Stallone in Creed 2.
Yeah, but here's a reason why I think that because
Rocky.
I think he's got the girl. I think he's protecting this girl, and he gets the girl, and
It's like his niece or something, right?
I don't know who she is, but I think it's yeah. Hold on, what was that? What
He
was
sacrifices himself for her.
So-
I couldn't really find it.
that? How many people did Rambo kill put in Rambo 2? Try that one. Let's see. It doesn't say. That's not good. How does people do? How
Can
do
you
people-
answer my question?
I do think he's gonna die.
Percentage.
I'd say 60-40.
I was going to
Oh,
say.
here he is. Rambo kill counts from parts 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's. So Rambo 1. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's right. He only killed one person in 82, right?
69.
69 in
Rambo
part
2.
2. Okay, 132.
Holy shit.
132 in Rambo 3, and then 236 236 in Rambo. He wins.
Well, at one point, the entire Vietnamese army is coming at him. He's got the Burmese. And he's just like
and he's tearing off heads.
I mean, insane.
And that turned into the meme, whereas he's giving a thumbs up because he's using that machine gun.
Right. The likes coming out.
Yeah, the like.
Oh, please! That's what I loved about the last
I'm
Rambo.
sick right now that I'm not going tonight. I can't even listen to you guys right now.
But Roxy, you couldn't have, did you even attempt to have the conversation?
I did.
Oh, it didn't go over well.
It's not that it didn't go over well. It's like, here's the thing. Which movie... I did it for, the DC movies, the premieres, the Marvel. So it's like, at what point... I don't know.
Ask them to move the show.
It's Rambo, for Christ's sake. Move
Rambo.
things around.
It's Rambo's fault for not having more press screenings.
Have you ever seen
Rambo needs to have one.
the New Orleans Saints fan that he calls himself Rambo with an EAUX?
Oh,
and he dresses in like the thing, and he's jacked, and he's got like the long hair. It's pretty sick.
I'm Ramby.
And then there's Ramby.
And I live in a White Hood.
Can't do it without the outfit. People liked Ramby though.
They did.
They were fans of Ramby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
all right, we have
outfit
more
was
news.
fire.
We have more stuff. Let's talk about our main
We do?
topic.
Yeah. So.
What is it? I'm just playing along, guys.
Main
I'm
topic.
the audience.
All right.
Why don't
You
you
ready?
go back to talking about...
Okay.
Just let it
Here we go. Todd Phillips was doing an interview with Total Film a couple months ago, and he said something along the lines of, I will do anything Joaquin wants to do and for a Joker sequel. Well, he just clarified with Games Radar, who he says that it's not happening. He told IGN this comment that it was a theoretical kind of situation. If Joaquin wanted to do it, he would do it. But there are no plans right now for a Joker 2. In fact, that the movie was set up to be a one-time thing.
I know, it
It's
doesn't
so-
surprise me.
It's so amazing how in 2019 the questions that people like us ask will be something along the line of, okay, so Todd Phillips, just curious, if Joaquin came to you and begged you to do a sequel
Would you do it?
for the Joker, would you possibly think about it?
If they gave you $20 million,
yeah.
would you do that?
And he's like, yeah, I guess in that
Right,
case, maybe
right.
I
And it's a
do one.
story.
And everybody's like, he's thinking about it. And I'm one of the people. I'm like, he's doing a sequel.
Yeah, I think one of the...
Well, it turns into a thing. People say
Yeah.
Joker 2 is happening, and you click. And you're
But
like,
this
"Not
this
really."
goes back to the conversation that we had about Joaquin Phoenix he's not a franchise guy. He's just not a franchise. Plus, if you look, we haven't seen the movie yet, but from everything you've heard so far about how whether it's disturbing or he's so invested and locked in. When you're that type of actor, whether you're a Daniel Day-Lewis, Christian Bale, or a Joaquin Phoenix, when you're Jared Leto, when you're so locked into that type of character, it gets into your psyche. Do you want to revisit that again, like right away, and commit to a sequel? I mean, I know that people don't understand. They're you're an actor, you get paid for it. It's a lot to go through that.
Which woman actress do you feel like is in that clump also? Charlize?
I mean,
She's
Monster
close.
is tough.
She's close.
Because I feel like you're right. Like when I think about
Mad
the
Max.
people who are really, really method, usually
Yeah.
I think of the same ones you do.
She's close.
I wonder if there's a reason for
Tully.
that.
Charlize. Charlize's close.
Yeah, Tully, that was a great performance.
Tully's
Anyway,
another
sorry.
one,
Yeah, keep going.
Reese Witherspoon in that.
She's always Reese
Yeah,
Witherspoon.
but
though.
she does her Reese Witherspoon thing. Like Joaquin is never Joaquin.
No. I think Charlize Theron is a good call.
Based solely on my character in We Own the Night, that was supposed to be a 3-movie franchise.
I know.
Yeah.
And then he didn't want to do it.
So.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying though, that that's not really his MO, and you don't want to get that deep and dark into things necessarily back to back. But he does seem to pick similar type disturbed roles.
Right.
So it's kind of like if he's going to do another disturbed role anyway, if there was a story for a sequel.
Right, unless he doesn't think there is.
Right.
And neither one of them do, right? And like you said, as a one-off, Riley, that I think that what the fans want from this is, okay, now we get to see him with Batman.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think that that's going to be the case. And it might clash with then Matt Reeves because it's already gotten confusing because people are asking, is it going to cross over? And they're like, no, it's not. I think that once you get this movie out there and people are talking about it, it'll get an Oscar buzz or it won't, and then it's just in the library.
Yeah.
And now you usher in the new era of the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman.
If you could
Yeah.
Only see the way she
loves me, maybe you'd understand.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Why I feel this way about our love.
Keep it together.
What am I do?
It's a great clip out, I got to tell you. People looking. Yeah.
To your point.
Name that band and I'll stop. I know.
It's Fuel, isn't it?
Not the band that was doing. I don't know. I feel like Incubus, maybe.
No, I think it was Fuel.
Thank you. To your point, this is set in the 80s.
Yeah.
Joker.
If you sing, I'm taking it away.
And Matt Reeves, we still don't know when it's taking place. And it can't take place in the 80s, though. I think they want to leave the door open for Batman to connect sooner or later to Justice League. So they were going to start maybe fresh with Pattinson.
I have heard that is going to be a decade piece, though. 90s.
90s. It could be.
I believe.
Yeah, young Batman. And I would get it, but it's still, I don't know.
We'll tie into...
I haven't seen either, so until I see them, then we can start talking about whether or not it works.
If you look at what the comments that Phillips makes here, though, it was always intended to be kind of like a one-off, then you don't want to see him push it. You don't want to see him push it. And I don't think this movie is going to be a big blockbuster kind of money-making movie. It's not that kind of movie. I think it's going to kick people's asses, and I think people are going to either love it or go, whoa. But I don't think this is a movie where you can franchise it. From what I've seen, it looks like the King of Comedy. It's like, could you make a sequel to King of Comedy?
Well,
No.
Kristian,
It just
movie
looks
trivia showdown question. I don't know the answer, but I'm going to throw it out to you. Has there ever been a movie that's won an Oscar for Best Picture that had a sequel?
Well, yeah.
Godfather.
I mean, if you Return of the King, I mean, but it was 2 and 1. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a third of the
Godfather
movie.
2.
Godfather.
Yeah. Let's see.
Bridge over the River Kwai 2. Still Kwai.
Oh, who was talking about Titanic? Somebody was talking about Titanic. And it was like, oh, imagine if there was a sequel. There was a sequel for Titanic.
No way.
Bring up Titanic 2.
Oh, yeah.
There was.
Still
It's
quiet?
hysterical.
Yeah, there was a
know what you
Titanic sequel.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to sing anymore.
Just image. Just put on images.
Who was supposed
I guess Titanic 2 movie.
Who was in it, Kristian?
It's right
Oh, I don't remember. No, that's not. That's the actual ship. There it is. There it is. That's the movie. Yeah, it's Titanic 2. I can't remember who made it, but
James Cameron.
No, he did not.
Bruce Davidson?
I don't remember who did it. Either way, I think that there was.
But what is the story? It's not Jack and Rose, obviously.
It's about ghosts.
Is that true?
I have no idea.
Ghost Titanic?
Yeah. Did you actually? Speaking about the Titanic, by the way, do you know that part of the ship is actually deteriorating now?
Yes.
No way.
I've been looking at this.
Yeah, it's been. It's been under the water for over 100 and some odd years. How many years it's been?
They went and checked on it after they haven't for like 10 years, and they saw that some of it's
It's starting to deteriorate. I mean, it's been under the fucking water for so long.
Wait, this is a dumb question though. Why aren't they taking it out?
You can't. It's too deep. They've tried.
But at least
They've
some
taken
parts.
artifacts.
Well, they've taken artifacts out
Yeah,
of it.
but a
You
big
can
chunk.
go.
You couldn't take like a big chunk and
They
put it
took
in
a
the
safe in there with a drawing of a redheaded woman. Clearly, which is actually
How'd you
the
do
plot.
I beat Joe Lewis's ass.
It's beautiful. What is that? Velvet?
What is that, Velvet?
Rocky Marciano.
Crazy enough, though, Bridge over River Kwai 2, Still Quiet. That was the plot.
Still quiet.
Still Quiet.
Did you miss that?
I like that. Yeah, I missed it.
Because for 45 minutes I've been laughing at Still Quiet.
Oh, I didn't know it was 40 minutes. I thought you just said it. Yeah, a lot of things are just said in the middle of a lot of different conversations.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it just happens. It's a good one, though. I like that.
Still
And
Quiet.
I even made it. I said Still Quiet, and
I
then
know,
shut up.
but it was probably in the middle of a conversation.
Well, you know what? Keep up.
Oh, is that it?
Mm.
Okay.
There's
How
also-
about don't get lost?
Can't help it.
No.
And
Yes,
today I was.
you
Today,
absolutely could help it.
Today,
You
I was
could help
not
it.
lost.
No, you just
I was
no.
stuck.
There was also Larry of Arabia, which was the
That I
80s
like.
reboot.
You could see total 80s reboot. And Jonathan Silverman would play him.
Yup.
Larry River. Yeah, and he would definitely, or C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you imagine if C. Thomas Howell tried to make Soul Man today? Are you kidding me? Twitter would run him out of town.
I'm getting a giggle out of that.
What's Fots?
Fucked?
Fots.
Oh, it was Fots.
That's the Boston way of pronouncing
Farts. Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Farts.
All right, so I want you.
Fucking farting.
No, so here,
Farts.
so you read it as a Bostonian.
Fots.
You read this as someone who's very excited.
Whee!
Perfect. You guys
And
are
now-
killing it today.
Did you see somebody tag us in my native language? It means like pin or
Something like that.
I
It's
was
my
like,
favorite
okay.
thing that we do now because either you love it or people fucking hate it. And I get more of a kick out of the people who hate it. The more people who say I can't stand Igla, the more and more you're going to see it on the show. I love it so much.
Aren't we gonna have him on?
You know, that's your job.
Who,
We
Igla?
gotta
We
find
get
him.
him on? Oh, yeah, we gotta.
Igla. Hello, Mr. Igla.
Real question. Do you remember what he's writing?
Yes. The Marvel thing. The
Hawkeye.
Nope. The Haley Steinfeld thing. Right?
Hawkeye.
I don't remember.
Hawkeye?
It's Hawkeye.
Yeah. That's how I was right.
Yeah.
That's
He
right.
said Hawkeye, you said the Haley Steinfeld thing,
Same
and
thing.
she is
the
playing
both.
Kate Bishop in that.
Gate Bishop's a
I
brother.
get it. I fucking said
Bro.
Gate. I meant to say Kate.
Hello, everyone. Have you met Kate Bishop?
He's friends with Farnsworth.
And the writer is Igla. Anything else happening in
He's
the
a
news that we
showrunner,
should talk about?
I mean, you saw the Princess Bride thing.
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
it started
we'll talk about that.
trending.
Saw it and then didn't see it.
No,
Yeah,
listen,
it
what
started
is this?
trending.
We're going
What
to
is
talk
this?
about the Princess Bride thing on
TV
Rumor,
talk?
no,
Oh.
Rumor Mill
Oh, okay.
today, 2 p.m. live on the Collider Video
There it
Twitter.
is.
Got it.
I've got a funny, and it's supposedly close to a pretty good rumor about the Princess
All
Bride.
right, you stay out of this then.
I will.
Because you want to hear your take twice. So,
So the Sony CEO, they were doing a interview with Norman Lear, who produced it, and there was
Yeah.
this big article.
how's
and
Rob Reiner feel about this?
Yeah, well, I know. This is what a lot of people. I think Rob Reiner didn't even mention anything. But the guy said that the CEO said a lot of famous people that I won't name are contacting me saying they want to remake Princess Bride. So that quote was pulled, and the article then just went crazy. People saying you don't remake this. Jamie Lee Curtis comes out and says, "I married the Six-Finger Man." You cannot replicate this. You cannot replicate this movie. It was lightning in a bottle. Carrie Elways comes out and says, "Good luck. Yeah, you're never gonna touch this thing." So everybody just kind of chimed in.
I'd like a sequel. I wouldn't like
A sequel or a
There
remake?
is a sequel.
Sequel.
There is a sequel. William Golding,
With
who
who?
wrote the book.
Yeah.
With Robin Wright and Carrie
Yeah,
Ellis?
it's called
Yeah.
Buttercup's
No, that's
Baby.
what you want?
Yes.
It's called Buttercup's Baby. So
Yeah.
it takes obviously
There's
what
a book,
it
you're
sounds
saying.
like. There's like a chapter. He made like a faux kind
Let's
of.
do that.
Yeah.
We don't need a reboot.
Nope. I agree.
Do a sequel.
Do you feel like they're of the right age for a sequel to that movie?
I think it's a little too late.
Well, if you're looking at it, it's their kid, right? Or is
I guess yeah. I mean, I'm trying
De-aging.
to remember how old the kid was in that book.
120.
Yeah, that sounds all right. But you're wrong.
430.
Yeah, but either way, I don't mind. Like I said, this goes back to our Back to the Future conversation, right? I think stop, you idiot. Get over there. So,
Stop it, you idiot.
Stop it, you idiot. I think that you can make a reboot or a sequel to these things like they've been doing, whether it's Bad Boys 3 or whatever these movies are, years later making another sequel,
life.
coming back out, whatever it is. Even like a Kill Bill 3, what they're going to do. That's not going to carry on Uma Thurman as much as it's going to carry on Vivica Fox's daughter, right? From what we think. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's just continuation of the story, and we want to know, and even the fucking Saved by the Bell thing.
Yeah.
To see like the kid. I mean,
Jesse and Slater's-
doesn't mean it's gonna
But
be
what
great.
do you want to see?
Whatever the story is. I mean, it's like
I would go Buttercup's Baby.
I would
and
much
start
yeah.
there.
But what do you want to see?
I just would rather see to know that the movie that I already watched is canon already. That is the stuff that happened. They're not going to remake it or retell it with another giant and another. It's like I don't want to see another Inigo Montoya. I have my Inigo Montoya. I'm okay with that. I think that movie itself is. I mean, you can, and you.
I don't think it. Honestly, for like today's generation, if I played that for my niece and nephew in a couple years, I don't know if it would hold up.
Oh my God, it holds up more
played
than
for Vivi.
anything.
Did
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Vivi loved it.
Interesting.
You guys know this is my second favorite movie of all time.
Yeah,
I am
interesting.
obsessed
So
with
good.
this
I've never
movie.
been the
It is.
biggest fan. Like I like it,
It's a
but I've
great
never just
fairy
been like
tale.
amazing.
To me, it is a red flag or deal breaker. That game I play with my sister to know if you can date a deal breaker if you don't like Princess Bride. Like
Interesting.
It's
You guys would have never worked.
yeah. Oh, bummer.
No, I didn't.
It's like the
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said it's fine.
You said it was trash.
Oh, did I?
you said it was garbage and garbage people are in it.
Garbage. It is a garbage.
Roxy
Come
just
on.
put
You want to talk garbage?
Do you know an actual rumor that Uma Thurman was pitched to be a spokesperson for the Roomba and call it the Roomba Thurman? That is 100% a true
It
story.
was pitched by you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Roomba Thurman.
Yeah, of course.
Question for
Very
you guys:
nice.
Who did you say married Inigo Montoya? Oh, or the Six Finger Man? Who did you say married the
Christopher
Six Finger
Guest.
Man?
Christopher Guest married Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They've been married for 3 decades.
They have, but before we listen, we're gonna go to break because we're
He was
in a
scary.
second. In a second, I'm gonna break
Yeah,
that
hold
because
on.
we're gonna bring in our guest in just a second. But VCR, he did it. He did
What?
the
Oh.
VCR channel. He did the Arnold and Genie. Can we
Nice.
bring up the Arnold and Genie VCR clip because Makuga, this one might be
Yeah,
his finest.
really.
it might be his finest. This is really good. So the
Formerly known as Contra Club, now VCR
yeah,
Boy.
it was Contra Club, but just I guess if you put Contra Club Collider, maybe that comes up. Still, yeah, this is why we need Alex? There he is. Okay, so just go to there. You bring that up. Now bring up the genie one. Where's the genie? It's the first one, right? There it is. Okay. So this is VCR. So it's Video Club. What's the last name? Fandom.
Video Club Random.
Random.
VCR.
All right, here you go.
He's a good graphics guy.
He's really good. Here.
Oh my God! I'm out of there. Now it's very cramped. I was in there for a long time. It was nice.
I must have hit my head harder than I thought.
I can't do stuff because to work out. Hello, Rug. Nice to see you again. Haven't seen you in a long time. Who's the kid? Who's the monkey? Who are you?
Aladdin.
Okay, listen. I'm going to tell you something, and you got to listen because if you
Wait,
don't
wait
listen,
a minute.
you get no wishes. Bennett. Wait, it's a different movie. Here you go. You get a friend like me. Why? Because I'm going to help you. Teach you how to work out. I teach you other things. Oh, look at that. What do you want to do? You got 3 wishes, asshole. You take them, we get out of the cave.
You're gonna grant me any 3 wishes I want, right?
Okay, now you still got 3 wishes.
Like?
What you want to do? You want to be the prince? I can't kill anyone. No, I said it.
So don't ask.
Okay, look. Because I'm a genie and I got magic. Oh, look at that. Oh, you tricked me. Here we go. This is the gift of Fa in the fucking parrot. Get him. And look at the parrot, and look at this, and look at that. And then we look at an elephant.
Blue, you look good.
You got all these things there because you're the Prince Ali, and we're the friends. So all you gotta do, what'd you do? You said my name. You freed me. Okay, I'm out. Bye-bye. You need to shoot another movie.
That guy is so good, man. Go to Video Club Random. Go subscribe over there. He's got how many subscribers he's got? He's almost at 1,000. So let's get him to 1,000. He's at 800 right now.
What?
It's really good. You like that, Roxy?
This happened before. I didn't know it was you.
Oh, that's funny. But it's him. It's
Come on, it's the elephant.
It's the way he puts it together. But
but I didn't know.
You didn't know.
But this happened literally the exact same thing. I was like, I'm having deja vu.
It's good.
We did the. We got to go to break here in a second. But we did the super chat show yesterday for.
How'd it go?
Went great. It was me, Kate, and Brett. And one of the things that kept popping up was people kept asking Arnold Arnold's the Godfather. Arnold is this. It was a thing. So anyway, look, we're gonna go to break. When we get back, we are going to be talking to Javier Grillo-Marxuach, who's a producer and writer for The Dark Crystal. We're going to talk to him in just a little bit.
Hey guys, it's Perry here to let you know that Movie Talk is moving. We've had a great time in this 3 p.m. Pacific slot, but guess what? We want you to start your day with Collider Movie Talk, so we're moving. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a longer show with some brand new segments, so tune in starting Monday, September 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh McCouga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Riley here. Let me tell you about the Riley Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Riley Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Wow. Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Well, hello there. I'm Ken Knapsack, one of the hosts of Collider JUDY Council. And I'd like to invite you to listen to our show, watch our show. It's on every Thursdays on the Collider video channel. And it's also available in podcast form if you'd like to listen to our sweet voices on Collider JUDY Council, me, Kristian Harloff, and a bevy of guests, I say, talk Star Wars. We celebrate Star Wars. We dig into the Star Wars news. We speculate everything about Star Wars, including your questions. So join us on Collider JUDY Council. You're going to have a great time.
Jesus. What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Okay.
Hey guys, Riley here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops in on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's JUDY Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Kristian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider JUDY Council. We talk about everything Star Wars. It's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel. But if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Apple Podcasts, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out. And then after Episode 9, you got TV shows. So we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hi, I'm Amy Dallin, one of the hosts of Collider Heroes, and starting right now, you can catch our show Tuesday nights with a new Collider Heroes and a longer Collider Heroes podcast, where Coy and I are gonna talk your ears off. You already know that's coming. So make sure to go to YouTube, subscribe, and find us on the Collider Heroes podcast feed for all of that sweaty goodness.
The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horror-filled podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. And on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Collider Live. Very excited here too, because you know we geek out quite often on this show, and one of the movies from our childhood was The Dark Crystal. And joining us today, he is both producer and a writer on said show that is now
true,
on
yes.
Netflix. Javier Grillo-Marxuach, nice to have you in.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you in. First thing I got to ask you, though, because the cast here for this show is just incredible. I mean, you got Taron Egerton, Anna Taylor-Joy, Simon Pegg, Mark Hamill, Jason Isaacs. The list goes on and on.
It's like the phone book.
It's
crazy.
crazy.
I think you're in the voice cast, and I know you're in it.
I'll
take it.
I know. You know who's not? And we brought this up before. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to or talk to. I know it's Joe Manganiello. He is maybe the from True Blood fame and
absolutely. Joey Mang.
Yeah, he
Magic Mike.
Yes,
Magic Mike. The best night in my marriage was when I brought the Blu-ray of Magic Mike home, and we watched the special feature where they put all of the dance numbers together unedited. Wow, that was great. My wife has.
Good for you guys.
Well, I'm taking notes. I'm getting married soon.
So you're very, very aware. He is. I don't know if there's a bigger Dark Crystal fan, and I'm so curious. I haven't talked to him in like a couple months, but I wonder if he went in to do a voice or so too.
It's interesting because a couple of people who are on the show, Andy Samberg is one of them.
Yeah.
Literally, the moment the show was announced, and this was 2 years before the show was released or made, or I think he actually called us and said, "I want to come in and meet."
Yeah.
And we're like, for what? And he came in and he hung out with us for an hour, and then he wound up, being a character on the show, and we never heard from Joey Mang. I mean,
Joey should have given
I don't know if but then again, I was not entirely in the voice casting. It's interesting. The Dark Crystal. It was an extraordinarily long production.
Yeah.
Between me and Jeff Addis and Will Matthews, the guys who developed the show, and also Lisa Henson and Louis Leterrier and all of the different people involved, we all sort of had different sort of spheres of responsibility in it. For example, Jeff was probably more involved with the voice acting and all of that because he was our guy who stayed in production, whereas Will Matthews and I sort of stayed back in L.A. Jeff moved to London, and then Will and Jeff are rewriting the scripts for production. It's a complicated thing. So I'm not saying Joe Manganiello didn't call us.
Right.
I'm just saying, as far as I know,
didn't hear about
yes,
it.
exactly.
Is there anybody?
Because I would have met with Joey Mang, just so I could have the selfie, and talk about D&D. Because I also know he's like the D&D,
we just said before he came in, I said if I gave Joe those two options, he could only have one: Dark Crystal or D&D. I don't know what he takes. Like he's a Dark Crystal junkie.
Really?
Oh, big time.
Well, wow. Yeah. I'm finding this out 3 years too late.
I love it. Well, season 2.
Season 2. Keep your fingers crossed for season 2.
Well,
yes.
good.
I know that it wasn't necessarily your department, but was there anybody of that kind of name that did try to meet with you guys? You just couldn't figure out a way to plug and play them. That was a huge fan.
You look at that list. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
huge.
I mean, there was at least one. I'm not going to say the name because that would be gauche, but there was one very, very prominent British actor, who called and said, "I want to do this because of my children. They love the film, and for you, I'm going to drop my fee to $1 million." And we said, "Oh, that's thank you. It's so generous."
Couldn't do it.
He is not in the show.
But the show. So working with the Henson Company, one of the things that I think that is so great about them, and maybe sometimes when you look at whether it's the Muppets, they're so protective.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Very protective. So the Dark Crystal, I always thought that was going to happen a lot sooner than it did. Yeah. How does it come about? How does someone say, okay, we're going to do a prequel? We're not going to do a sequel. How does that whole situation come about?
Well, here's the thing. They've been developing some version of the Dark Crystal and another for a long time. Like this show started as an animated show for Netflix, And I think the thing that has been not a stumbling block, but that has always been sort of the elephant in the room with the Dark Crystal is puppets.
Yeah.
It's like you can't really do the Dark Crystal without puppets. I mean, they've done novels, they've done comic books, and when it comes to the visual medium, it's just sort of something that's, they've tried a bunch of different things, but it's just you can't do it without the puppets. The puppets are the sort of great attraction there.
Was there
in a
a
lot of
fight
ways.
against that at all ever?
Well, no. I mean, what happened was, so Jeff and Will, the guys who developed the show, who would have loved to have been here. Everybody's been felled by a horrible plague that's killing everybody in LA. They're zombies now. I'm sorry. It's like, they tried to eat my dog. It's bad. But anyway, no. So here's the thing. So there's all of this development going on, right? And the thing is, the puppets are just of the essence for this thing. But puppets are very expensive and very time-consuming. All the animatronics. I mean, there's at least 200 puppets for the show that had to be built. Everything had to be made from scratch.
That's great.
So it literally came down to one of those things where they almost tried everything, and then somebody finally said, "Oh, it has to be puppets."
Yeah.
And Lisa Henson had been developing with her team, including Hallie Stanford and Blanca Lista. They had been developing a feature. They had been developing this animated show. The feature was with Louis. Louis has been involved with this thing for 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
And it came down to Netflix got the script for the animated thing, and they got to talking about it, and they realized it had to be with puppets. And they called Lisa, and what Ted Biaselli, the executive at Netflix, says is that he literally called her and said, "Well, we're not going to do the animated show, but what would it cost to do this with puppets?" And the way he tells it, he could hear Lisa drop the phone in surprise because of the just huge expense and also labor intensiveness of puppets. So what they did was they shot a 5-minute test reel. And the test reel had a CGI Gelfling and a puppet Skeksis. And it's an amazing reel. They showed it when I came in. The story of how I got involved with this is they brought me in to interview, and they couldn't tell me what it was. Okay. So my agent called me and said, "Hey, there's a job at the Henson Company. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, I mean, any chance to go to the Henson lot, I take it.
And were you a big fan of the movie?
Of course, yeah. No. I mean, 82. Come on, 1982. Like I was 12 and 13 years old. It's like that was the greatest year of genre ever, and this was the last of the great genre movies of that year because it was released in December.
Was this not your first time going to the Henson lot? The way you said it?
No, I actually worked with the Jim Henson Company on my very first pilot. Was actually sold with the Henson in 1996. There was a thing called the Van Helsing Chronicles. Okay. And sadly, we're not prepping the 27th season of that right now, so you know what happened to that pilot. But so anyway, so I go in, And I'm sitting there in an office with Lisa Henson and Hallie Stanford and Blanca Lista, who are all executive producers on the show. And I get and they're like, it's the Dark Crystal. And I'm like, huh? And then like, we want to show you something. And they showed me this test reel. And I apparently cried in the room.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Because I'm such a fan of the movie
man.
and all that. So, but anyway, but the thing that the test reel really demonstrated is that you can't have a puppet and CGI. You have to have either all puppets or all CGI, because it just sort of doesn't work. I mean, like having a gelfling that doesn't occupy space and volume the same way that the puppet scientist did in that test reel, it just gave the lie to the whole thing. And so it was a process of many years to just sort of get from Henson Company's keeping the Dark Crystal alive with comic books and novels and all these other things, to we're going to make a feature, we're going to make an animated show, and then finally somebody going, guys, we will give you a Netflix-sized check to do this with puppets. I mean, and if you've seen the show, you know how sumptuous it is. I mean, and it's incredible, and it's one of those things that could have only happened this way because, there was this trying every other way but this one, and then somebody realizing, no, this is the correct way.
Yeah. Was there ever a pushback with going prequel with it?
It's funny. I really know. I think it was always been designed as being a prequel anyway. And look, I mean, the funny thing is, so Jeff and Will actually called the Jim Henson Company out of the blue because they had an idea for a sequel for Labyrinth. They wanted David Bowie had died, and they were like, we want to do Labyrinth too. And Henson Company was like, no. Yeah. But come in and meet with us for Dark Crystal, and they had a movie pitch for that Dark Crystal that was afterwards, and when they came in, they were told, no, it's a prequel and a TV show, and they were like, give us a day.
Yeah.
So, but they had already been developing pretty much everything that's come out for the Dark Crystal, like the creation myths, a lot of the manga and all of that are prequels already. Yeah. So I think one of the things that the Henson Company and Netflix really wanted to do was touch on the full bloom of Gelfling civilization. And that gives you a huge palette to play with. At the end of the movie, there's still just Jen and Kira, and the Thra has gone the full Grey Gardens at that point, so like it's going to take a while to heal and all of that. So we really wanted to go back to a place where we could really expand that world and show you that civilization in the full flush of its prosperity.
Well, I guess that's something. So for people who had not had a chance yet, the show premiered on August 30th on Netflix.
Yes.
So for people who
on
maybe
the Netflix.
On the Netflix.
The Netflix, yes.
On the Netflix. And so if people, let's say a younger generation, who had never seen the Dark Crystal, because by the way, Dark Crystal, the film, is also on Netflix. You can watch that. So if they wanted to go and they check that out, and then they wanted to go and check the prequel, can you give a quick summary for what they're going to see on the show, as much as you can?
As quick summary. I find that hilarious. Because
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the reason that I love Jim Henson. Yeah. Okay, I mean it's for all the obvious reasons, but it's like here's a guy who put out a movie in 1982, and the conceit of the movie is it's an alien planet full of creatures you don't know, right? And then those creatures were invaded by creatures from another planet, who then stole the magic crystal from the creatures in the planet, and then in an attempt to purify themselves, they were split into two other races of creatures, right? And then they cracked the magic crystal. I mean, it's like it's a lot to throw an audience into. So, when you ask me to describe what the show is, but it really, more than anything else thematically, it is about a civilization that is controlled by these sort of cruel and venal characters who are pretending to be beneficent and who are pretending to be doing the best for everybody and sort of spreading lies about what it is that they do as a government and it's about these Gelfling, these little sort of elves who live in this planet, realizing that the Lords of the Crystal, whom they've worshipped for eons, are not all they say they are. And it's the moment when everybody realizes that everything they've been told by their government is a lie, and the rise of a revolution there. And it's a theme that, it's interesting because it's such a mature theme, and yet, when you go into it with all of the high fantasy elements and the puppets and all that, it seems like, I think one of the big fallacies is, oh, this is a puppet show, it's for kids. Yeah. It is Game of Thrones with puppets. Right. And that's the part that's so sort of fascinating to me about it, is that dichotomy between, sort of things that are very whimsical and very puppety, and then, sort of this very serious story, and also a very fun story, by the way. It's not McNeil Lehrer with puppets. I mean, it's Game of Thrones with puppets.
But that was the magic of the movie.
Yeah,
the magic of the movie was that it scared the hell out of me as a child, but I loved it because I was so into it, and I believed that everything on screen was real.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was just the magic of the Henson Company in general. So go ahead, Roxy.
Well, talking about the Henson Company, because it keeps coming up, and we've actually talked about it on this show in the last week a lot with the separation of Josh Gad because of the creative differences for Muppets talking about. But for you, because it does seem like they're so involved, how does that affect your journey as a creator? Do you feel like with their guidance, you're able to create your best work, or
Absolutely.
how does it?
Oh, totally. Look, I mean, the Muppets are owned by Disney, so Disney's doing whatever they're going to do with the Muppets, and the Jim. I don't know what role they play in that, but clearly they've been sort of flailing to find the right way to do Muppets. With the Dark Crystal, it was Jim Henson's favorite thing that he ever did, and the thing he worked hardest on, and he was proudest of. Like we have that on video. We know that. So and here we are working with Jim Henson's daughter, who is also the CEO of the company that bears his name. So literally everything that we did had to be collaborated on with her. And she had to hear everything, and she was a part of this creative process in a very intimate way. So it was it wasn't one of those things where, hey, did you have to get their blessing to do this or that? It's like, no, they were there in the writers' room with us. Yeah. And we'd have big meetings, and we would talk about everything. We'd pitch everything to them first and all of that. The way that the Henson Company sees the Dark Crystal, especially in terms of our participation in it, is they see it as a garden. And it's a garden that has existed for decades, and they have managed to keep it manicured. They've kept it nice and all that. And then this time around, it's me and Jeff and Will and Louie who've come in to kind of take care of the garden, And we're going to have our turn in the garden, and we're going to keep it nice. We're maybe going to change, so the way some of the plants are potted and all that. But our job is to be the custodians of this, and maybe sometime in another future, somebody else will take that over, But the Jim Henson Company's entire sort of raison d'etre with this is to keep it consistent, to keep it pure. So they wanted all of the comic books and the manga and the YA novels and everything to talk to each other and all that. And also, if you look at the project, if you just look at the credits, right? Brian Froud is back. He designed the original, and really his original art from before the Dark Crystal inspired Jim Henson.
Was he easy to get back? Was he easy to get back, or did he be convinced?
I don't know. I don't know what the negotiations were like. But certainly when he was back, he was back. I mean, but it was also him, his wife, who was one of the original puppet designers and fabricators on the film, and also his son, who is a fantastic designer on his own right. So that's a dynastic sort of cluster over there, Then you've got the Jim Henson Company, which is obviously, there's the they call them the Henson kids, but they're not kids. I mean, but it's Jim Henson's children, sort of running this company, and they're very invested in that. So you literally have all of the, and we had puppeteers from the original who came back to work on this one. One of them playing the exact same character.
I love that.
So it's one of these things where you're looking at a longitudinal dynastic project that is thought of very seriously by its producers, and they are very, very rigorous about what gets on and what doesn't. And like we had conversations about, like Jeff had a 2-hour conversation with Lisa about Gelfling politics. Wow. We had conversations about things like Gelfling are vegetarians, so can they have leather? Where do they get the leather from? They're in a campfire. Somebody made broth. What's the broth of? Like on that granular level, we were talking to them, and it was wonderful.
I love that because you can see when you hear something like that, it's not the writer room that it's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. Well, no one will care. I hate when you can picture that type of conversation happening when details just don't pay attention. It's happened in big franchises too that have happened in one particular movie, and they ignore everything that's happened before.
Yeah. And sometimes it's the same writer director, and you're like, what? And look, I'm not saying that the guy's initials are Bryan Singer, but I'm just saying if you look at the X-Men movies, you're like, what? Right. Like, I mean, I know people who are in sanatoriums because they tried to reconcile the continuity between the X-Men movies. Like literally have been driven insane by it.
Yeah, it's the who cares mentality, and I think that they don't give fans enough credit. So I'm so happy to hear that that's what you guys did in the room. So how many years beforehand again does this take place from the original movie? From
it's interesting. Trying are not specifically years, so we're keeping that. We know what it is, but we're keeping it a little fluid because there's stuff that happens in the second series that. It might have something to do with the time at which it happened. So, to not spoil a potential second season, if everybody who's listening to this shows up and starts watching it on Netflix.
Please do that.
Please watch it.
So when you're talking about all that mythology building that you're doing in the writer's room, and you're talking about season 2 and hoping it's happening.
Yep. Theoretical season 2.
Theoretically. Are you looking forward to season 3? Possibly a sequel after The Dark Crystal?
Well, it's interesting. One of the things that Jeff and Will did when they pitched this thing, I was basically brought in after they had gotten the green light on the show, and the reason they brought me in was because Jeff and Will, they're brilliant writers, but they hadn't really worked in television before and had a writer's room, so I was brought in to be that kind of seasoned... which is hilarious. Experienced, exactly. And we became such close friends and close collaborators, really sort of became a hydra in terms of the writing of the show with the rest of the writing staff. So one of the things that I loved about what Will and Jeff proposed originally, what got them the job and what stayed in the presentation of this all through development, was they have an answer. There's a word that I'm not supposed to say in press for the show, and that word is genocide. because it's a very depressing word. And you might see the movie and think, oh, this is a movie about the aftermath of that word we don't talk about, you know. And it could be interpreted as very depressing. And one of the things that Jeff and Will have done is they've constructed an answer that gives us a very satisfying second chapter for this. And when we came in to look at the first season, one of the first things we did was cut their pitch for the first season in half, because we realized there's way too much narrative density in the first half of this, and the second half deserves its own space. And the second half comprises sort of their response to that concern. You know, what we're allowed to say is Thrai is a very big place, and there's a lot of room for hope. And there's a lot of ways that a victory can be a victory without appearing to be one. So don't watch the movie and make too many assumptions.
Right.
I'm a little surprised that you guys have not been confirmed for a second season yet.
Me too. Gosh darn it.
So you thought you would hear by this point?
You know, here's the thing. This show is a huge risk is not the right word, but it's kind
undertaking.
It's a huge lark. You know, like literally, we're doing 10 hours of a show with the narrative density of Game of Thrones entirely with puppets. You know, and it's set in another planet that was invaded by people from yet another planet, and they split the magic crystal. I mean, literally, you know, I'm getting mean tweets from people because there's stuff we left out of the introduction that is canon, and we're like, no, it's still canon, but we had to simplify, guys.
I thought you did a great job with that.
Thank you.
You explained it very quickly and simply. As much as you can.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories is we were trying to figure out who was going to narrate that, and Louis just sort of, and Louis French, and I can't do his accent, but Louis says, well, you know, I can get my godmother to do this, and we're like, oh, who's your godmother? And he goes, oh, it's Sigourney Weaver, and we're like, yeah, please, get your godmother to do this. That's fantastic. So anyway, the show is expensive, although not as expensive as many other Netflix shows. And it's a show that, you know, the audience, I think, I don't know what the ratings are. They haven't really disclosed those to us.
They never do.
Yeah, but I think at this price point and this level of ambition, they do have to look at their metrics a little more closely, you know, because it's not like something like Santa Clarita Diet, which is a really fun show and a great show.
Oh, so good.
But, you know, it's a show that is, you know, a little less cumbersome to produce. You know, I mean, this show took...
Well, they canceled it anyway.
Well, yeah, they did. And same with No Goodnick, which is a wonderful show, and everybody should watch it. You know, so sometimes those demographic questions, I don't know what their algorithm is, but for us, it's also like it just took a really long time to make the show and a lot of money. And that's a decision you can't enter into lightly. The other thing is, in apropos of your question, Netflix is starting to sort of look at these things not as seasons but as events.
Yeah.
You know, so Age of Resistance has a really nice sort of end that has it ends on a cliffhanger if you know what happens in the movie, but it also has a shape and an end, and it's very satisfying on its own. You can watch it without seeing the movie. You can enjoy it on its own. You know, so a second season, you know, it to them it's less important kind of, you know, how long it takes to make and all that, than they have something that's really solid and wonderful and that they can really play as an event, you know.
Would season 2 also be Age of Resistance?
I am not at liberty to discuss the subtitle of the second season in any way whatsoever.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, this is why
I'm sorry, we're like on a huge NDA. So
this is on you guys now.
Okay.
Because you guys now are
yes, please.
Look, if you have not watched this show, and I know that people who are watching this particular show, you're fantasy buffs, and I know that you like to watch shows like this. And I think that that's what maybe a lot of people also, when they turn it on, they say, "Oh, maybe this is for my kids," and it's not necessarily.
Oh God, no, I wouldn't show this to kids. It's terrifying.
Right.
We had a card in the writers' room that said "No childhood left unscarred."
Yeah.
And then there was another one that said it sure as something ain't the happy crystal.
Right.
So yeah.
So and I think that sometimes, you know, when you say, this puppet is going to, I'm telling you, just from watching what The Dark Crystal was, it is a movie that is near and dear to my heart. I can't wait to dive back into the series. I started it, and I'm really loving what I've seen so far. Cool. But I'm glad you said the thing about because my daughter's 8, and I was gonna give it a shot, but I think maybe not yet. Yeah, maybe not yet.
Yeah, I would say if you would show your child The Empire Strikes Back or Revenge of the Sith,
she's seen both.
Then they can probably watch Age of Resistance.
Okay.
And also, you know, it's funny. You know, for all the bad crap that happens to the Rebels in Empire Strikes Back, the thing that actually has stuck with me, you know, and I'm like the Travis Bickle of Star Wars. I know that's a big boast to make in a room like this, but I, you know, to the point where I literally had to take a year off. Like I went cold turkey for a year.
Man, we need to. So we're gonna have you on Jedi Council.
Yeah,
should come on Jedi Council.
I'd love that.
All right,
have me on it. Has anybody called me? No one's called me.
Let's talk after.
We got to get him one of these shirts. Then.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah.
So you know, the thing that stuck with me about the original trilogy was just how cruel Palpatine is, you know. And even though Return of the Jedi may not be the best written or maybe the best directed movie in the trilogy, that has stuck with me. Just how awful his cruelty is to Luke and to Darth Vader and I think that that's the one thing that there's a lot of stuff that happens in the show that's really brutal. But the thing that has a real cumulative effect for me is just the cruelty of the Skeksis. You know, you really get to know them as villains, and they are pretty freaking awful.
Yeah.
And I think that's I almost find that more disturbing than some of the scenes of puppet horror,
right?
You know, because those things, you know, that is disturbing. It gets under, you know. But again, it's no different from what is in Revenge of the Sith. So if you watch it, if you watch it with your child, you can probably do.
All right. So I'm not joking around here. When we get out of here, we're going to
we're going to talk about Jedi Council.
He also produces
I'm the
Jedi
producer
Council.
of Jedi Council. So
like I wrote a long essay about it. It's called My Year Without Star Wars. It was published in IO9 actually.
All
so,
right,
yeah.
I'll tell you.
I love this. Okay,
Javier,
we're
thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me,
guys. Check out The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. It is on Netflix right now, the Netflix. So make sure you check that out. Thank you guys for joining us here today. Roxy Strider, Josh McCouga, Mark Riley. Hey, Alex wasn't here, but Cody Hall was. Everybody, thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Get those tickets, schmodownlive.com. We will be in Orlando, October 19th. See you guys. Bye.